It's a good laugh. Good laugh. It's a pretty good laugh.
It's a bad laugh.
No.
Yeah.
Walking round and around and around and
Walking
around.
in a Wakachina.
Walking. That sounds like an album.
Sounds like that song, like walking on the.
Walking on the green. Is Empire of the Sun. Walking.
Wakachina.
Welcome,
That's crazy.
everyone.
Can you believe we're here?
No, I can't believe it's still great.
In Peru, in Wakachina. Walking in Wakachina.
Walking.
Dude, like, this sounds, it's like so ominous. Cause you know there's like a giant sand dune.
Oh, you know what we should do?
Climb the sand dune
We
at night.
should get a bottle of pisco crema, the chocolate milk variety, and we should just drink that while walking around this little area.
Yeah, but where are you gonna get the pisco?
Nieto.
It's probably somewhere around here they have it.
The one-
You don't think?
I don't know.
Wouldn't that be cool? We get progressively drunker.
I don't know if it'll be cool. I don't want to piss myself. Like, being drunk is like not that.
Yeah,
It's
why
just-
do you
It's just a lack of self-control.
tell the audience why you want to be drunk?
Well, I've never felt it before, you know? I don't know what it's like.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but you never murdered anyone. You know, you don't know what it feels like. So.
Yeah, but this is like something that everybody's done.
I actually just saw a news article. It was like this lady killed someone because she was such a fan of true crime and she wanted to see what it felt like. She actually murdered someone.
That's a thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Why are we walking on the sand? More sand? Oh.
You don't get to
Because
walk
I
on
love
sand.
sand.
Yeah, no, you don't. Earlier, you're like you hate it.
It's smooth and smooth.
5,
It's the opposite
4,
smooth.
3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome to TBD3B, the interactive podcast where we talk and you listen.
We have a special edition tonight.
Yeah.
For the first time ever, one of my friends
Oh my God.
from back home.
Wow.
Can you imagine that? Never in a million years would I have thought that I would tell anybody from Plano, Texas that I do this.
But that is crazy. We have a special guest here, and we're at a special location as well. We're live from Wakachina, Peru.
Is it live?
It is.
It's
I
live.
guess
We're live
like
recording
right
right
now
We
now.
have a very special guest.
We have a very special guest.
His name is Andrei.
How are you doing, Andrei?
I'm doing very well actually since I'm on my vacation.
Yeah.
And I'm also getting paid to be on this podcast.
Oh,
are you?
really?
What are we
a
paying you?
whole 2 souls.
2 souls.
Paying you 2 soles.
That's crazy. Okay, well, they'll come from Milan, not from me, but that's okay.
It's 50-50.
My-
We're
Just like the work we do on this
My-
podcast.
Or like just like the work we've done in every group project, right?
My agent will be in contact.
I see.
Okay.
Well, we're walking along.
We apologize if the audio quality is not as good.
Yeah, this is a first in many regards. First, the special circumstances in terms of the location, the guest, also the recording equipment. Recording on an iPhone right now.
This is the first outdoor podcast.
True.
I don't think
This
that's
is the
true.
first mobile podcast.
Yeah.
This is the first mobile podcast
Yeah,
where we're
yeah.
literally walking and talking all around.
Yeah, we were talking about Robert Hansen earlier, even though we're in Peru.
Recent death, Robert Hansen,
Yeah,
The
Yeah,
cookiest man alive.
the
Oh,
Soviet
yes, you're
informant.
right.
exactly. So, yeah, this is we're live in Peru, as we said. It's been a week now.
And we don't have a
Since the
topics list
start.
also? That's
We don't have a topics list, so everything here is just
off the cuff,
off the cuff riffing.
which is not that new for me. But
But it's kind of we'll see how it goes. I'm sure it'll still be entertaining, as you can. I don't even know if you can hear me right now because the wind's going like
very windy
crazy.
here. We're by an oasis in the desert,
Yeah.
surrounded by beautiful sand dunes.
True.
They really are giant. Like, you go outside the oasis and they're endless.
Yeah. Well, we're in Peru. This is my first time ever in South America. Is this your first time in South America, Andrei?
I was in Cancun when I was like 3.
That's not South America.
That's technically North America.
I guess, yeah. So.
Yeah. So Cancun. So Peru is your first experience. What do you think of being south of the equator for the first time?
It's quite an experience. We've done all the touristy things. But
Have
We've
we?
done all the touristy
Well, a
things?
lot of touristy things. and
What
they're
are
all
some of the
amazing.
touristy things we've done?
I went to Machu Picchu.
Okay.
Is that a highlight?
Definitely a highlight.
What'd
Was
you-
that the highlight?
The highlight of the trip so
It's
far?
amazing.
Yeah.
Just the locale, the history, how like it's not pristine, like it's not been preserved, but like it's been untouched by filthy Spanish hands.
Untouched. True.
The only thing that's touched it has been vegetation and like some restoration work.
But now they're not even gonna touch it because it's UNESCO. So now they can't even touch it. You know.
We should pause.
I-
wait for the wind to pass.
I
No,
learned. I
this
learned,
is ambient sound.
we learned just a few days ago that like 2 families lived on top of Machu Picchu.
Yeah.
When the American dude.
When Hiram Bingham discovered Machu Picchu.
Wait,
this-
did our tour guide even say like what happened to those
They
families?
said
Yeah.
they got relocated. Like
So-
the government.
so Hiram-
They got forcefully relocated,
No, okay.
put onto
What
reservations.
happened was Hiram Bingham, he got permission, right? We wanted to clear it out as fast as possible. And so what he did is he got permission from the Peruvian government to burn down the entire forest from like one mountain to the other. And so they had to forcibly remove the 2 families.
They gave
living
them a
there.
new house. They gave them
Yeah,
new
they
house.
gave them some money and a new place.
This sounds like the U.S. government relocating Native Americans.
It was the Peruvian.
onto
Yeah,
reservations.
it was the Peruvian government relocating the Peruvians, so it's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, but this.
They're the
So that an American could burn down their home.
Exactly.
So what would you say has been your highlight, Andrei?
Machu Picchu, definitely.
Yeah,
Machu Picchu.
Cusco in general.
yeah, this is good.
I like Arequipa as a city a little more, just a little. Just architecture.
Do you think you'd come
city
back?
Size. Well, I would definitely come back to Cusco and Arequipa.
Mm.
Puna is like okay. As a city, but the people, the Uru people on Lake Titicaca, are like this incredible culture, and it's dying out.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
Mm.
slowly dying out. So I suggest if you want to go.
Is it actually dying out? Are they below replacement rate? And they're
I think it's like more people just go on the mainland, right?
oh, true.
Because it's like a tough life on the water.
You don't think you'd live there?
I would live there maybe like for a month or so.
You wouldn't become one of them?
If I had internet, sure.
Yeah. Did it say on the Airbnb that there was Wi-Fi or no
I don't think
Wi-Fi?
so.
Oh, no Wi-Fi.
think
But the cell signal
The cell signal is really
reaches
good there,
onto the water.
or it was sufficient enough for our needs.
we went to an island where single men wear special hats.
Yes. And single women, they wear special balls.
Yeah.
That sounds so weird out of context.
It's true though.
True.
That's how they find each other.
And we were discussing what a system like this would look like.
Can you imagine
in the
that?
US. Everybody
I can
walking
just
around
spot
with-
single ladies all over the place and be like,
Yep.
want to mate?
Okay.
There's only a few thousand
Want to
people on the
couple?
island, though. That's the issue.
Which island is this? Tequila? Tequila?
Named after
A certain
something
the name was like
Pedro
Pedro Pascal?
Gonzalez.
Oh.
Gonzalez.
Gonzalez de Tecali. Taquile.
And apparently the guide said like he made everyone dress up like matadors, or he introduced the style.
Yeah.
Onto the island.
Imagine buying an island and then forcing the local inhabitants to dress up the way you want.
That's what money buys you. See, this is the reason why we have to fire, right?
At least
We
he
can
didn't
get a lot of
At
money.
least he didn't do
then-
an Epstein.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Give him
How do you
credit.
know?
But
Maybe.
actually, you don't know that, do you?
Yeah, maybe they are Epsteining
I have a
right
feeling
now.
he just wanted people to like look goofy. That's about the extent.
Well,
Maybe-
that was his local culture. What do you mean goofy? That's how he dressed up.
Well, you should just left him alone, bro. He bought the island. Like it's humiliating, kind of.
Humiliating.
I usually let them keep certain parts of their culture, like their embroidering. They're like they apparently they're really good at making textiles.
Mm.
They won a competition. In
Yeah.
fact. They
Yeah.
brought them over to the greatest country on earth,
USA.
and they made them do a competition for textiles.
Do you think the USA is
They
the
won.
greatest country on earth?
Andre,
I guess, yeah. Yeah, I would say so.
a true patriot.
That's good.
At least
That's
in the
good.
U.S., we could flush down our toilet paper and
True.
That is very true.
It's a highly based statement.
Something we've learned. At least in the USA, they usually have.
A
Oh,
dog that's only on 3 legs.
one of his broken.
One of his legs is broken.
that's
sad.
very sad. Damn, that just took a very sad turn on the podcast here.
Yeah.
As
Maybe
we're
he's just pretending so that people give him food.
oh shit.
Also in Peru, we learned that they filmed part of the Transformers movie.
Oh,
Yes.
we're actually planning to go
No,
watch it,
we're not
right?
planning.
Highly
We're
doubt
not.
that that's actually
No,
And
come on.
we witnessed the
Leave in the
most.
comments if you think we should watch Transformers
And
tomorrow.
we probably witnessed the most surreal premiere of a movie ever.
Oh my god, that was insane.
Where
So what
Optimus-
happened? Tell me
so
what happened.
I think they
Set the
flew-
scene.
So the Plaza de Armas. Right?
Plaza de Armas.
Plaza de
Armas. Right, is like the main square in Cusco. Has
Uh-huh.
some churches, Spanish architecture, and this is where they decided to host the premiere. They
Okay.
have like a big stage in front of like this old church,
Yeah.
Spanish church, and on a side street, what you see, Optimus Prime, like this 18 million, like the truck. I think they probably flew it in from the U.S. Optimus Prime, right? Bumblebee, like it was a Corvette or whatever, right? Some other Transformer cars, and they drove along to the front of the square. I would say it's the front, like in front of the church where the stage was, where there was a band playing like 80s tunes, kind of.
Uh-huh.
And Optimus Prime stops in front of a bunch of Incan reenactors. And
they
start speaking to each other
in Quechua.
In
in
Quechua.
Quechua.
Optimus Prime was speaking Quechua.
We had no idea what they were saying, but I was assuming Optimus was getting
See, this is
permission.
why we need to watch the movie in Peru. Maybe Optimus Prime will be speaking Quechua in the movie
Yeah,
as
who
well.
knows?
We have
He'll definitely be speaking Spanish if you watch it here.
We have footage of
Exactly.
this. We have footage.
True.
And they speak Quechuan, and I assume he's getting permission from the Incan like leader to do something,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
right? Because
commit
it's like a
war
long
crimes.
conversation.
Those, we have a theory. I have a theory
What's your theory?
that it was actually the Transformers that built Machu Picchu.
Whoa.
No, that can't
Yeah.
be. That's not going to be in the movie.
They were the aliens that came.
Oh
I mean, we know. I mean, it's a well-established fact that aliens built Machu
tour-
Picchu.
the
Who
tour-
believes that aliens
Me?
built Machu Picchu? Really?
No.
Where'd you get that?
The tour guide.
Do you know
said-
anybody who believes that aliens built Machu Picchu?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, really? Okay.
The tour,
I mean, maybe my dad might. But
Oh, another guest onto the podcast.
yes, too.
the tour guide apparently said that like the film crew for Transformers went to Machu Picchu and they were only going to film like a total like 3 minutes of footage. I mean, they're going to film more, but they're only going to use 3 minutes of footage. But apparently, they loved like Cusco and Machu Picchu so much it became like an integral part of the film.
They had to rewrite
that's,
everything.
That's so true.
Maybe it's just to like say to the Cusco people, so it's like we love your place. so
I mean, the
much.
thing is, Machu Picchu, from what they described, it was basically like a really fancy gated community. Like, imagine like an average suburb in Texas, but like the elites lived in it, and it was like on top of a huge mountain.
And there was a big gateway that was the only way in or out, and they didn't let poor people in.
Oh, does that sound like an average suburb in Texas?
Yeah.
Kind of.
No, but they like the tour guide said the elites like would go to the length of speaking in their own language to communicate secrets and stuff with each other.
I see.
And they had and then the tour guide debunked the alien creation, story of Machu Picchu.
Yeah, how did he
They
do
said-
that?
He said there are imperfections at Machu Picchu. So there's like I think it was a gate.
Everybody wants to be in this podcast.
There's like
Yeah.
there's like a small temple, and like part of it was like it was like not aligned,
Uh-huh.
kind of falling apart.
Yeah, basically he said that the Incans were dummies.
No. He said like they made
The
some
Incans were
mistakes.
humans. They made mistakes.
Like
Yeah.
Machu Picchu is like incredible because they didn't use any mortar, right? Nothing, no concrete to like glue together these stones, and they're like carved very well. The stones, and they fit together extremely well, and survived earthquakes and everything, right? Hundreds of years. So, but you know, like mistakes are bound to happen. So yeah, like even now and today, like you have this huge skyscraper in San Francisco. I forgot the name, but it's like sinking.
What?
Like,
In San Francisco?
It's like tilting.
It's literally tilting. Yes.
Yeah, it's a leaning tower of San Francisco.
Oh, Leaning Tower
There's
of SF.
There's that super tall skyscraper in New York City. Something one. I don't know. Madison. I
The
don't know.
One Trade Center?
No.
No.
It's super skinny. It looks like a white rectangular block.
Sounds like all the new skyscrapers.
But like
in New York.
apparently like sways really badly.
During the wind?
Yeah, the wind. It's because the wind. Even though they're like special floors where it's open, so it lets the wind pass, it still sways. So like even now we're making mistakes.
Yeah, but I don't think the Machu Picchu's... the Incans built like skyscrapers though. You
Sure,
know?
have
I
you
kind of
seen-
did though.
I mean, Machu Picchu
It's
is
not as
huge.
high as
Machu
the-
Picchu is huge.
Yeah, it was not huge.
Yeah, they just
Height-wise,
had some
is
help
it?
because most of it was
built-
mountain.
Oh. Most of it was built by the Transformers. That's what you were saying. Right? Where the fuck are we? Just walking
you want to go
around.
back that way?
Okay, let's turn around again.
Oh, I was gonna say that.
Oh, this way?
No, let's turn around.
Okay, well, our guest has the final say.
Okay. Our guest, of course.
Hey, look, we're in China.
But yeah, incredible.
This is so
Apparently, Machu Picchu was also like
Waka China.
Machu Picchu was like really high maintenance too.
This is just terrible.
Keep going, Andrei.
Like-
Please ignore a lot.
The Machu Picchu because the climate it was at it's very rainy
Uh-huh.
like most of the year.
Yeah.
So they had to replace the roofs like every 2 years or something.
I see, I see.
It took like 20,000 people estimated to build Machu Picchu, and only about 800 to 1,000 people live there. Like
Wow.
the elites of society.
You listen to the tour guide a lot more than I do. A lot of it seemed to go in one ear and out the other. I
It's
think.
all right. It's all right. You were there to enjoy the natural beauty.
True. I really enjoyed the views. I had
They
some good
like
views.
it seemed like every building at Machu Picchu was for religious purposes. Like for this
Mm.
god, right, the sun god. You know, to see the solstice, right?
Yeah. Are you a big religion person, Andrei?
No.
No?
Why not?
What's your opinion on religion? Give us a hot take right here.
I mean, I think people should believe what they should, you know,
What should people believe?
Exactly.
and what they think is true, you know.
What they think
And
is true.
I see religion, most religions, as having cultural significance, and you know, I respect it for that. It carries on the culture for thousands of years.
What do you think of religions that are against like LGBTQ?
I don't really care unless they like hurt people physically. Like, you can believe what you want to believe, just don't like mess with me or anyone else.
Oh. What does mess with mean? Like if
Like
they
physically.
Oh, physically. Okay. So if they mentally mess with you, that's okay. Verbally mess with you.
I like to think I have a strong enough mind.
Ooh.
But if they find like political candidates and they get into the office, that's where it gets pretty tricky.
I see. Makes sense. Are you a big fan of religion, Alon?
Of religion?
Yeah. What are your opinions on religion?
I think it has played an important role in the development of human civilization,
Okay.
in motivating people to
Human
organize.
Civilization 5.
Yes, I mean that's also a fun game that has religion in it. But I think it's good at getting people organized to do things. You know,
True.
for example, Machu Picchu. Like one of the things that the tour guy said was that the only way that people would get off their ass and do work was because they thought that they were building their buildings for the sun god.
That's why Machu Picchu was built so high up, because they'll be closer.
To the gods.
As well as for like protection purposes.
That seems very smart. Do you think the Incans were smart people?
Definitely.
Yeah, I think they were pretty smart people.
Do you think they're smarter than us as people now?
No.
I think they were as smart.
As smart.
Definitely.
Really?
They're just limited by their environment.
Oh,
I think, I agree with what Andrei said.
that makes sense. Do you think the human race is just gonna get smarter and smarter?
According to the Flynn effect, yes, but I don't know how true that is.
How do you define intelligence, Andre?
What is the Flynn effect also?
The Flynn effect is like every year, like the average IQ gets higher technically.
Oh, Flynn. Is it Flynn effect?
Yes.
I thought it was Flint, like Flint, Michigan,
No,
where
no.
they drink
Supposed-
lead.
Like they say they have to adjust the IQ test every few years or so because like the average person gets smarter supposedly.
Oh,
But how do you define intelligence, Andre?
I
Is
don't
it
know.
as an
That's
IQ
a,
test?
That's a question out of my control.
Mm.
I think there's a lot of forms of intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Social intelligence,
emotional
behavioral intelligence,
yeah.
and
Do you think so? Like intelligence, you were talking about the IQ test. You ever heard of this thing called EQ that people talk about?
yeah.
It's like you're emotional.
Yeah.
Do you think you have high EQ or low
No.
EQ?
I think low.
Low EQ.
Why do you think that?
Why do you think that?
It's hard to relate to people sometimes.
Oh, how so? When they talk about like what?
Their issues.
Do you have no issues, or do you just have
I
separate
mean,
issues?
I
you think?
understand. I have sympathy for them, but the issue is I don't know how to respond effectively
I see.
to like comfort people.
That's definitely a hard thing, you know, when people open up to you and you just don't know what to say.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. You have to have really high.
Do you have an example of some time that somebody has opened up to you and you didn't know what to do?
We're getting deep.
Yeah, we get deep on these podcasts.
Yeah.
You're not even showing this to anyone.
Listen,
So-
Alon, why don't you show as a host like how it's done, and you can talk about an example that's happened in your life where someone's opened up to you and you didn't know like what to say, what to do. Has that ever happened to you?
Has it ever happened to you, Patrick? Maybe you can set an
You're passing the
example for
baton.
me.
That's a good question you asked, because that was the question I just asked you. So
Yeah.
I was wondering if you
Well,
had
that's the
an
question
answer.
that I just asked Andre, coincidentally.
Actually, I asked Andrei first that question. I think. I'm the
Did he?
question
Did you? I don't think so.
Just stop lollydallying.
Stop lolly dally.
Okay, I have an example.
Okay, you have an example.
So
Let's work here.
in the future, this example actually happened in the future.
Okay, in the future.
Yeah. So I was relating this story of how I was really upset because I couldn't come up with an example of of how somebody opened up to me once,
Uh-huh.
and that was really, that was really heartbreaking for me.
I see.
The details are very vague.
And
Very vague.
and Andre said that's very vague. I was hurt by that.
Oh, well, it's this. They actually have. Alright,
Listen, Andrei, I wanted to ask you a question. Was Alon always this much of a snowflake when he was in high school? So you two, like, here's the context, right? You two know each other from, you said from like middle school?
Yeah,
From a young
As
age?
a matter of fact, it was we were in this gifted and talented program.
No.
Damn. Whoa, that's
Don't
crazy.
tell
Y'all
the
are
story.
gifted and talented.
Like a bird.
Gifted and talented.
That's a cool bird.
Yeah, so there's this thing in Plano called PACE, which is like the Plano Gifted and Talented program. That's what it stands for.
Okay.
And so they have a summer program called SIGS.
What are these acronyms?
I don't know what
dude?
it stands for.
Okay.
It's the summer Gifted and Talented program.
So I'm guessing this is where you and Andrei met each other for the first time.
Indeed, it was. As a matter of fact, I think it was on the first day. We sat next to each other in the gym.
Wow. Andrei,
embarrassing?
Andrei, can
Yeah.
you tell me what your first impression of Alon was?
Uh,
Who was Alon like in middle school?
He
This
was-
is like,
He was exactly the same as.
oh dear.
Was I?
Kind of, yeah. I don't know.
So can you describe what he was then and now?
I don't know. He's
How would you,
He's
if
a
you had
smart
to
guy.
describe
He's-
Alon to an alien, what words would you use?
smart
Okay.
and reserved.
Oh, really? Reserved?
Yeah.
Reserved. Would you agree, Alon? Do you think you're smart and reserved?
Reserved, maybe. I don't know. Am I reserved, Patrick?
I don't know. I was
don't
as you could
don't-
tell.
You don't take that big a risk.
Oh.
That is true.
He's
very
risk
averse.
Risk adverse. I see. Okay. I don't know. I was a little surprised when you said reserved because I think he will, go out and like talk to people and like try to experience
I
new
guess
things
should've said risk
in limited
averse.
capacities. I
Like
guess.
getting drunk, for example.
That's the worst example you could have done because you have not done that at all. But
Exactly.
okay, here. How about Alon? What was your first impression of Andrei then when you two first met
He's a cool dude.
in this gym
Cool dude.
in middle school?
I don't really remember actually the first. I just remember we sat next to each other that one time. We said a few things. We went on a few play dates.
Wow.
Yeah.
We went to the Peru Museum. I remember one time.
What's the Peru Museum?
It's a museum in Dallas that had just recently opened. Wow, all those years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember in the program it was like we were selling beads,
yeah.
and I was this
The summer program?
I
Yeah.
found out I was a really bad businessman,
Oh.
Yeah, it was like an entrepreneurship themed.
and I was
Summer
terrible.
camp.
I was so bad at it.
That's when I first learned who Mark Zuckerberg is.
Damn.
Yeah, because we played a game. I remember they put like names on the screen. It was like that game where you put your like a sign on your forehead and people have to tell you
Like heads up, 7-Up.
Yeah, something like that. Except there was like one of us would face away from the projector and one of us would face toward the projector, and they put a name.
I
And
see.
the person facing towards would have to like describe the
Right,
person.
right. Sounds just like heads up.
And so Mark Zuckerberg came on, and the guy said Facebook, and I was like, "What?"
Wait, so were you paired with Andrei or no?
Were we in the same
Yeah,
section?
I think so. Yeah.
Were you two immediately friends or did it like
I
take a
guess
while
so.
to develop?
Yeah, I think so. I think we were fast friends.
I see.
Going back to the previous question about EQ,
EQ.
I remember when my significant other told me they had bladder cancer, and my first response I think was really, because I think they were drunk one time and they said they had like ball cancer.
I mean
friends.
I feel like
And
that's
I thought they were joking because it was shocking. And I
No,
was like,
no.
oh,
I feel like that's a valid response because that is such a shocking omission to just have, especially since they're not very old, are they? They're like
yeah,
same age.
but-
Actually, I heard that we are a prime age for ball cancer.
Oh, really?
Ball
Yeah.
cancer.
At this age?
Yeah, that's why did your doctor ever touch your balls?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to check if you have ball cancer.
Mm.
Yeah.
No, but they have bladder. But like Andrew did the same when my mom got cancer, or I think he said really too when I said it in the Discord server.
So how's your significant other dealing with the ball cancer right now?
It's not balls. It's bladder.
Or bladder cancer, I apologize.
But it's like they're doing well. I think it's.
Is it a very treatable cancer, like compared to some other ones?
I mean, they did like some. There's something called BCG.
Okay.
Boston Consulting Group.
No. It's like I think it's like a tuberculosis vaccine that they like injected me.
Mm,
It's like
treats the cancer.
It's like immunotherapy.
I see. Well, condolences.
But now I think they're going to do radiation. That's what they said. Yeah, I don't know. I think they'll get through it.
Hopefully they'll be all right.
It's only. I say only, but it's only type 2
Only type 2.
or stage 2, not type 2. Stage 2.
How many stages are there to
There's
cancer?
like 4.
There's
Yeah,
4. Is this all kinds of cancer? There's 4 stages?
Yeah, but some are more nasty than others.
I see.
Like some are like mostly treatable, mostly not benign, but like survivable. And then there's others where it's like there's no hope.
It's a very sad
No,
sad
we're
state.
making progress. You know, people live longer. More people are like rid of cancer every year.
Do you think this is an example of the human race getting smarter? That we're making progress on all of these
Yeah,
previously
definitely.
uncurable diseases?
definitely. Because like if they, I don't know if the ink inside writing, but you know, like it's hard to pass on knowledge compared to back then compared to now.
Uh-huh.
Now we have computers, run records. You know,
Computers, yeah.
storage.
They had
meetings. Yeah, they have that, but like it's kind of hard to pass on knowledge back then in general,
Mm-hmm.
especially cavemen, right? If you're a caveman and you're like, let's say your tribe independently discovers fire from everyone else, and you just forgot to do it.
You just draw a picture on the cakewalk.
How they knew it was like, oh yeah, that makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. That's how you make fire. No, they drew like mammoths on the walls. You know?
Yeah, they drew like people too.
Yeah, hunting the mammoths.
Uh-huh.
So Andre, I want to ask you this question. So suppose you had like a list of all the friends you've ever made, right?
Yeah.
Like in high school, in middle school,
Yeah.
in summer camps,
This feels like a
in
police
college.
interrogation.
Where would you rank Alon on this list of friends?
I think, like-
do you think you'd be in the top 10?
For sure.
For sure.
I
Wow.
don't even think I don't even think I have 10 close friends.
Oh.
I think you'd be in my top 10 too.
Oh, this is such a heartwarming moment.
I'm sorry, Lon. I'm taken.
You're gonna have to do a little better. Maybe say top 5, something like that. That might be
I
better.
don't really rank my friends.
Okay. Well, I mean, he said you're in his top 10.
That's sweet.
That's very heartwarming.
Like I said, I don't even have like 10 friends.
What about you, Pat? Where would I rank?
I'll have to think about it. What was the?
Watch it fucking Chino.
Hopefully, the audience is enjoying the background music as we
Waka fucking China.
go through this beautiful ravine here.
We're here in Waka fucking China.
Yeah, we walked by a bar called Waka fucking China.
Yeah, because we're in Waka fucking China right now.
Do you think Waka China is better than Miami? Have any of y'all
I've been to Miami. I don't know. I mean, I don't really like Miami that much.
I've never been to
TBH.
Miami.
I've been to Miami Beach once with my family, but I was like 12 years old, so it's not really the same.
My grandparents and uncle, I think, went to Miami once to go to the Romanian consulate there
The Romanian consulate
in Miami.
Why Miami?
I don't know, to renew their passport or something.
Or why not go to the one in like Dallas?
There's not one in Dallas. We're talking about. I don't think there's one. No. Then they would have just gone to the one in Dallas,
Miami was the closest one?
probably, or the one with open
Damn.
spots. I don't know. I know they did it. This is interesting.
Did you go with them?
No,
Have
unfortunately,
you ever been to the Romanian consulate?
no.
How
What's it like being Romanian?
Yeah. How in touch are you with your
Like
Romanian?
it's like being a
heritage?
walking joke. Kind of.
Oh,
Like at least among my friends,
damn.
Oh, is that really the
Are these
impression that you
are
get?
these?
or in general, like every so often you see the meme with the Romanian dude on the left and the like picture of germs on the right, and says you drop your wallet, who gets to it first, the Romanian or the germs?
I have never seen that.
You never seen it?
I've seen that meme before.
It's like
hilarious.
a two panels.
Do your friends in the top 10 like share these kinds of memes?
Yes, definitely.
Oh,
I've never shared such a meme before.
that means you're not in his top
even
10
my
then.
even I'm sorry for my French, but my junior high teacher, Mrs. Sullivan, also joked about Romanians.
Yeah.
Damn.
Joked
that's-
about gypsies, which is offensive because they're actually called Roma. Right?
But they're not Romanians.
What?
Gypsies aren't Romanians.
They live in Romania.
Sure, but they live in other places too.
I mean, historically, they came from India
yeah.
during the Roman times to be basically laborers, from my understanding. But you know, they live their life. It just don't bother them.
Makes sense.
How many times have you've been to Romania? Yeah.
Yeah.
You like Romania?
The countryside is gorgeous. Yeah, it's great. A lot of history, medieval history. They have some cool castles. Ron Castle, Palace Castle, I believe it's called.
Yeah. They got Dracula.
Yes, we got Dracula. Yeah.
Do you get annoyed when people make jokes like that about?
I mean, sure. Like if you're Peruvian, right? In the U.S., people will be like, "Wow, that's kind of cool," you know. But if you're Romanian, it's like, "Where's that?" Oh, Dracula? Oh yeah, I know that guy.
Right?
Right? I guess Brazilians
I feel
get
like
the same treatment.
Do Americans know we're Peruvian?
Yeah, I was gonna say. I feel like
I
with
think they could point
Peruvians,
it
they
out.
probably say the same.
No
way.
I guess
No way.
Brazilians online get the same treatment though. So to be fair,
There's no way an American could point out where Peru
I'm an
is.
American. I can point it out.
Okay, but you're literally here right now.
Americans probably couldn't even point out where Ukraine is.
No,
on a
but
map,
Romania is
you know?
getting along. They're known for being tech savvy.
Really tech savvy.
They like jumped straight from like having like no internet to having like fiber.
Yeah, like Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, he made that tweet. It's like even Romanians got better internet than us.
And all the Romanians got mad. They're like, "What do you mean, even the Romanians?"
I think I don't know if they all got that, but I mean, it happened so like they had the opportunity to start from scratch, and like fiber was already a thing. And it started out with like little neighborhoods, like getting fiber, right? It's very it grew very like organically. It was very nice.
Do you
in
think
the U.S. we have like fiefdoms, like AT&T. That's how a lot of people describe it, because like AT&T will control this one region or this one neighborhood, and you don't have any other providers, and you're fucked because AT&T are scumbags. But
Wait, who's not a scumbag?
none of them. I guess Google Fiber. I don't know. I haven't heard bad things
Are they
about
still
them.
around? Google Fiber?
Yeah, I haven't heard bad things about them. But AT&T, they would like come to my house and knock sometimes and be like, "You want fiber in your area or something?" Some crap like that. We never get fiber. Never. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Sometimes the internet goes out. I do not know what is up with my area.
So maybe you could move to Romania instead. Would you want to do that? Leave the United States?
I heard
to
Romania is a
work?
popular destination for what are called digital nomads.
Digital nomads.
A lot of Romanians are tech savvy. Like in Amazon, they had a whole team in Romania. They're working on I think it was Amazon Nitro. So they know what they're doing.
Would you like to become a digital nomad?
No, it sounds so cringe.
Would you like to describe what a digital nomad is?
It's like white tech workers who make an excuse of like traveling the world, but they just want to be on permanent vacation while they work. And they go to poor current countries to quote unquote work there, but apparently they probably don't work, and what work they produce is like crap because they're too busy.
Would you describe our friend Ian as a digital nomad?
He's beginning,
but he's not white.
He hasn't lived in Colombia for literally months, so I give him that. But Bogota, Colombia was apparently the number one, I think, destination. It was like top 5 at least.
He
destination.
wasn't in Bogota. He was in Medellin.
I think Medellin. It was actually.
Oh.
Medellin. Definitely Medellin was one of the top destinations for digital nomads.
I've heard Medellin is a very nice city, though. From the guy who was sitting next to us at the bar.
Yeah.
He said he really likes Medellin.
We can go there one day, but then I'll become a digital nomad. Unless I work there. If I'm only there for vacation, it's not as cringe.
Well, besides working, just as like quote unquote digital nomad, would you want to live like somewhere else besides the United States?
Yeah, for sure.
For sure?
Where would you like to live?
Maybe Vietnam.
Vietnam.
It's
Interesting.
cheap, it's beautiful, good food,
I see.
nice people.
Do you think you would integrate well?
No, I can't. I can't speak Vietnamese for one. It's mainly a fault of my own.
Then would you?
What
would
about
you
Romania?
I could live in Romania.
Isn't it cheap and beautiful and people are nice?
I could live in Romania
And
too.
you speak Romanian.
That's another option. Get back to my roots.
Yeah.
Good internet. Romania is also a destination for so-called digital nomads.
Yeah.
I see.
The only issue is I'll be in the same country as Andrew Tate.
But he's behind bars, though, isn't he?
He's a house arrest or something.
Oh, okay. Well, he can't leave his house, though. And also, I don't
Maybe
think
by
they're
the
really
time, by the time you decide to go to Romania, he'll probably be gone. Not in Romania.
Yeah, Romania is known for hackers too.
Oh.
At
Become
one point,
a Romanian hacker.
I watched a video of like a group of like Romanian hackers, and they were like insane. They would steal Wi-Fi like using long-range antennas to like rep through other people's computers and stuff.
What?
Yeah, I need to show you the video. It's like the title is called "When Criminals with Good OPSEC Attack," and it's like RSA, the conference, and like they apparently like they were technically like very sophisticated, but like one guy slipped up just once, and like kind of unraveled the whole thing. He posted like online under like some alias on like 2 separate forums. One where he's like flexing his Jeep or something, I forgot. And then it's like it kind of like unraveled from there.
Andrei, one of the things that I noticed or now associate you with is being very knowledgeable and interested in the computer stuff, kind of like another one of our friends who's actually a listener to this podcast.
Not only that, our first guest ever.
Our first guest ever to the podcast. I think we should.
His name kind of sounds like guest too.
I think we should put you two in touch.
He's probably more knowledgeable than me.
I do not.
I don't think so. I think.
It's like magnets. They're like the same.
No,
poles.
I think you guys would have a very lovely conversation.
About what?
I think we should bring both of you onto the podcast.
Onto the same podcast. What do you think of that? You would be a returning guest. He would be a returning guest. What do you think of that?
What if I'm-
No, I think what I meant to say is I think your realms of knowledge are somewhat complementary.
Complimentary.
You know, not. I don't think you have many shared interests,
Yeah.
but you also many sort of tangential
Yeah.
interests that are different.
being
but,
gay, being not gay.
Something like that.
Listen, wait, this is something. Okay, so as I just said, I like associated certain things now with you, like being knowledgeable with computers and stuff. So how would you say, since you two were like in the same friend group in high school, right?
Yeah.
What do you think was Alon's role in the friend group? What was the things associated with him?
He
Like,
was
was he
the-
like the goofy one? Was he like?
He was kind of the goofy one.
He was the goofy one.
kind of,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm kind of goofy.
Would you agree, Alon? You were like the goofy one in the friend group.
A little,
I'm a little goofy.
just a little.
I try to be kind of goofy every now and again.
He was, yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. And what do you think your role was in the friend group? Who were
The
you?
wild card.
You were the wild. What does that
that's
mean?
a good way to describe it. I like that.
Yeah. So what does that mean? You being the wild card?
From It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Okay.
It's like just like completely left field.
Ah.
Bad shit insane sometimes.
I don't know about that.
So you have those like funny jokes that come out of left field and crack everybody up.
Oh,
Yeah.
careful.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Broken glass around here, guys.
Really
They're
said
probably matching.
the obvious here.
People are like, where the heck are these?
Where are these two people walking out here?
Yeah, I try to be funny. Sometimes intentionally, sometimes unintentionally.
Do you think you're like? Do you have a friend group that you're mainly with your college friends from college as well?
Yeah.
Do you think you're also like the wild card in that friend group, or do you
Yes.
think your roles
Yes,
changed? Okay,
yes,
it's still the same. Do you think your role has changed in your college friend group a lot? Are you still the goofy one?
Am I the goofy one? I don't know. Am I the goofy one, Patrick?
I don't know if you are the goofy one. I mean, you're kind of like a goofy one.
I don't think I'm the goofy one, though.
Then what do you think you are?
I don't know.
I'm not always the goofy one. So there's a story.
Okay.
First year of college, we took this class. It was like a late night class.
Mhm.
It's about C++ programming, basic C++.
So fun.
But the professor was like a beast.
Okay.
He had a PhD. He was only a lecturer, from my understanding. But he had a PhD. He had a day job, but then he sometimes came to UTD to lecture a night class. And he had several kids, and he played soccer. And so my friend group would sit in the front row of the class, which was a huge mistake, because they would just mess with this dude every day. And it wasn't just him; it was the whole class, because we had a Discord server for the class. And people would coordinate goofiness. Let me explain that in a little. One time, Nick, I think it was sitting. One of my friends who was sitting in the front row, every single class, had the idea to coordinate sneezing or coughing in the Discord server. So they're they have a countdown, and then half the class would cough at once. And it was and they would do this they did it several times during one class. And at one point, the professor was like, "Is someone smoking in here?" And he didn't say it it was a legitimate question. He just said it sarcastically, he knew they were messing with him. But this guy was such a chatty, he just kept chugging along.
That's funny. The whole class coughed at one time.
Yeah. And then it wasn't a whole; it was half. I was just sitting there embarrassed because I'm sitting with.
You
these
didn't
people.
join in?
What?
No, it's cringe.
Oh.
It's so juvenile.
Yeah.
This guy has a full-time job. He has kids. He doesn't want to be here. Probably just wants a paycheck. Just leave this guy alone.
Very respectful.
You're very mature. Would you say you're the mature one in your
No.
friend group?
Not
You're
always.
quite mature though.
Not always. Not always. But and then Nick would often like watch NBA streams during class and would like visibly react to like the game. It was terrible. I like the professor, but like, oh my god, the class like fucked with him so hard.
Damn.
I have a lot of respect for teachers in general. They have a tough job.
They definitely do. Especially like high school teachers, middle school teachers.
I mean,
Like just the level of the kid just goes down.
Definitely.
The maturity level, the
I
intelligence
think
level.
the maturity level is like flat.
Literally subhuman.
Yeah.
Subhuman.
Like,
Their brains are not fully developed.
kids
That's
are
why.
literally subhuman.
What do you mean subhuman?
They are.
They're human.
They're stupider. They're less mature.
They
They're
don't
smaller.
count as humans.
Are you gonna call your kids subhuman?
Maybe.
They're subhuman.
No, that would be very damaging to them.
You think?
Probably.
You think?
They show up on a Netflix documentary one day.
Daddy means it in an endearing way. He loves you.
Yeah, they have a tough job, but I
My
would
little
say
subhumans.
I'm in my current friend group in college.
Mm-hmm.
I was the contrarian.
The contrarian.
The wild
Another
card.
good one, yeah.
The
Contrarian.
contrarian. The wild card.
He's the devil's advocate.
I see.
I should have been a lawyer. I did the bit in high school, but I sucked at it. So
Why don't we get a spicy take here? Now, compared to your college friend group and your high school friend group, which group do you prefer more?
high school.
Ooh,
Oh,
wow. This is only
Are you
because
saying that
Alad's
only-
right here? Or what?
Because like it was bigger.
It's
The
bigger?
fun more fun. Because less worries.
Yeah.
Now it's like all my friends care about money.
Oh.
I do care about that too, but I wanted to serve and like I don't want money just for the sake of it.
Mhm.
I just want to support my significant other and my family.
I see.
Like
I see.
paying for my like significant others, like remaining classes at UTD,
Mm-hmm.
which isn't that much for me to be honest. So flex, but
This guy in his Bezos stimmy, he just can't stop
yeah.
talking
The
about it.
Bezos, it's not only the Bezos stimmy, but how much I earned.
his big Wall Street bets winnings.
I did not make a lot from
In Nvidia.
Oh, shut up.
What do you mean, shut up? You've been the one talking about it, huh?
I don't want to be I don't want to have a target on my back, you know.
So,
So
what are your thoughts on Nvidia?
amazing company.
Amazing company.
Why
Would
is
you
that?
want to work there one
Yeah,
day?
yeah, for
Okay,
sure, for sure.
for sure.
I don't know if I have the knowledge, but yeah, for sure.
I know someone who's working at Nvidia. This,
Well, cool. Very.
I don't think they're working on the graphics card stuff. though.
Jensen Wong early on, and his group of buddies were geniuses. They saw the future was in graphics processing. They specialized chips and they rolled it. Then they pivoted to AI too. Very genius.
Very genius.
Like it takes a lot to design chips, let alone good ones.
Mm-hmm.
Very specialized knowledge, a lot of grit, effort,
Yeah.
much respect.
Do you think you have, like, since you study computer science, right? Do you think there's like an area of computer science that you're most interested in? Like, do you
Probably computer security and distributed systems.
Oh, distributed systems.
Low level stuff too. Yeah.
I see. What do you think is interesting about that kind of stuff?
Just how you can coordinate and enable a computation at scale. You know, like instead of having just one computer, you can have like hundreds or thousands all working together to accomplish big things.
To achieve a common goal.
Yeah.
Kind of like
Cool
a
stuff.
bee colony.
Yeah. And just the problems one faces in doing so. Like there's a reason why AWS is so big, because no one wants to deal with that. It's like a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
You were learning Rust.
Yeah.
Can you describe how?
Rust is cool. It's just that if you want to do some really low-level stuff, it's a pain.
Can you describe a personal project of yours?
I was attempting to implement a log-free binary search tree in Rust, based on a paper from some UTD professors from 2014. Log-free, in this instance, this means that if you have a bunch of threads going and using like this common data structure or some common resource, at least one thread will be making progress. Which means that unlike if you have a lock and one thread dies while holding the lock and all the other threads are like deadlocked or can't do anything, you have some progress in the whole system with the lock-free algorithm or data structure or system. But anyway, this lock-free BSD relies on the fact that you can tag pointers. So you can have two fields in the address of the pointer for a leaf node that indicates if it's like I believe they actually make the distinction between tagged and flagged, which help in kind of they help in when deleting nodes from the tree and moving them around.
That's so interesting.
The issue is, I mean, and this works for the fact that like virtual addressing only actually uses on a 64-bit system, from my understanding, only uses 48 bits to how page tables work, and from my understanding.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know quite the details, but yeah, you have some free space there to store some state information. But in Rust, working with raw pointers is technically unsafe. So there's like some packages that kind of help. There's one package I found, only one, that has atomic marked pointers.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah. But it's like it's like kind of old. I think it still works. But yeah, it's kind of old and it doesn't work well with other packages. And it's a real shame. So I have to like probably do some like fiddling around with that.
How far are you?
Not too far. Because I was looking at the very start to implement. It's not quite garbage collection. It's like memory
Yo, there's
reclamation.
glass all over here.
Because concurrent memory reclamation is hard if you don't have a garbage collector.
Yeah. I feel that.
That's really tough.
So there are some schemes to like do it in non-garbage collector languages.
You know, that's
There's a Rust package called C's that implements one of them. Yeah.
I'm glad you brought up memory recollection or
Reclamation.
reclamation. Because
Could you recollect the memory?
This is kind of like what this trip is. We're like collecting memories to put together into
collecting and
one little
reclamation are
thing.
different. Reclamation is like you lost.
Okay,
your
I was
memory
just trying to
to something, and then you try to.
No, what is the difference? Say again.
Reclamation is like you lost it somewhere. Right?
Yeah.
And you try to get it back.
Like transactional memory.
That's a bit different, no? I don't know the details, but is that even a thing still?
Transaction.
Does anyone use it? I think Intel had something like it. I just never heard of it. I know Haskell had it, but like it's not that widely.
What do you think of Intel as a chip maker?
Their glory days may be back. They used to be top dog,
Yeah.
but then it got like too financialized. A bunch of executives only caring about shareholder dividends instead of like changing the world.
You know, we had
I was
the
gonna say-
Intel CEO.
I was gonna say, what do you think of the Intel CEO?
I think he's trying to get it back on track.
This guy loves Intel. He was at our graduation ceremony and he was just like spewing about Intel.
Who, me?
No, the CEO guy.
Oh yeah.
Because he had
of
like a
course.
huge, long
He
career.
was at VMware before,
Yeah.
before he became.
No, but he
Intel
said
CEO.
like before being CEO, but he said his like dream job was to become CEO of Intel or some shit.
I mean,
when he was a
he
little
seems
kid.
he seems to trying to get the company back on track.
Yeah.
The issue is like Intel makes these great, they still make cool stuff, but like Google, they don't know how to make money anymore on like new products. They just know how to milk like their existing line of products, and they're kind of faltering. So like there's something called Optane memory. It's a really
Yeah.
cool type
I
of memory.
remember Mr. Eckhart.
It was
talking about
it was between RAM and like a hard drive storage or solid state storage. It was like in between. It was like actually kind of amazing. But the issue was like they didn't write drivers for it necessarily. or it was very kind of hard to deal with in terms of software.
You
Is
remember
this like-
Eckhart talking about this?
Or it might have been databases instead. I think it was in databases.
Yeah, I don't
They
know.
talked
Yeah,
about this.
but like it was actually like a really cool product. But
Yeah.
they made like it cost a lot to make, and not a lot of people bought it. And it kind of fizzled out. Now they sold off the business to some company, and they're winding it down. It's kind of a shame, really. It's really cool, almost paradigm shifting.
Almost paradigm shifting.
Maybe it'll have become popular in the future. Who knows?
Maybe.
So that's a cool thing. Now I don't know what Intel's like building a bunch of fabs. They're doing some cool research. Recently, an article came out about like some technology developed that made chips 6% more efficient.
That's pretty big.
Yeah. But it's still like a big bet because they have to see if they can scale it. I assume. Because the issue was like a few years ago, Intel really fucked up in like transitioning it to smaller node size. I forgot they went with a different tech than say like TSMC, I believe.
What is TSMC?
Taiwan
TSMC.
Semiconductor Corporation. That makes all the chips for like Apple, Nvidia, you know. But I think they went with a different approach, and like it didn't quite work. So now they for like a really long time, Intel kept like trying to make their current like line more like their current line more efficient or something, because they kept like adding plus. So it was like 14 nanometer plus or something for like their process, right? But now they have an entirely new one, I think. Yeah, the next generation EUV machines.
What is your thought on the CHIPS Act?
Long time overdue. Pretty smart. I don't know who wants to work in a fab. According to the Orange site, Hacker News, working in the fab is kind of terrible.
In a fabrication facility?
Yeah, because it's very automated. Like you have robots going around, moving wafers, blah blah blah. It's actually pretty automated, and so like it's kind of like you just have engineers kind of like saying their main job at the fab is just to make the line more efficient or see if there's like anything that's slowing the whole line down.
Doesn't that like sound pretty nice though? You don't have to do anything.
But like the shit kind of like you gotta run a fab 24/7,
Oh,
so shifts can be kind of long,
I see.
and there's also night shifts, you know.
Hmm.
At least TSMC runs it. I mean, all the big makers run their fabs all the time.
And also, would you want to do a job where you're like not doing anything all day? You just like sit around?
They don't sit around. They like walk around, and they have like a bunch of metrics they look at. They're like, okay, this part of the factory is like just a slight issue with it, slowing the whole thing down. Let's go through what it is.
Hmm.
There's like research fabs that do like the cutting edge work, and then there's like the other fabs that like just are on the older process. And I think the research fabs are a little more exciting. Older fabs maybe not so much. And the salary's not that good, at least compared to overpaid Swedes who write like React components all day and sit in cushy offices all day. And you have to relocate to like certain locations in the US.
Hmm.
Like they're building new fabs in Ohio, probably for the tax breaks. And also water, I guess. I don't know.
And
It's, like,
Ohio.
huge. It's like huge, the site they're building for Intel there.
I mean, Ohio's pretty cool. Have you ever been to Ohio?
I drove through it once.
TSMC is building some fabs in Arizona, and TI is expanding in Sherman, Texas.
The International, or what is TI?
Texas
Texas
Instruments.
Instruments.
Because they also do some fab work. They focus on like bigger node sizes, not like cutting edge 3 nanometer, 5 nanometer stuff. So,
How
like
do they make
TSMC.
calculators?
Yeah, did you ever have a TI calculator?
Yeah.
Which one did you have?
I don't know. The overpriced ones. They're all overpriced. They're like nickel and dime you, but like they make more than calculators. They do fab work, electronic stuff.
I see.
They were integral in developing the Javelin missile
Oh,
system. Like their chips are in that.
I see.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that. They were defense contractors.
They're not primarily, but they were involved. Yeah. I also want to say I hate defense contractors.
Hmm.
The old ones, the big primes, because they make so much money. They basically suck money from the taxpayers. They make their engineers do cool work to develop these killing machines. and then they pay them like shit. Like,
True.
Like entry level is like $77K for like an electrical engineer or even like programmer. It's absurd.
Yeah.
And then you barely get like a salary bump each year. So the only there's no reason to stay really, unless you're an executive.
Maybe like job security.
Yeah, job security. But then you're just admitting like you're not you're not competitive as a as a person in the job market. You don't have you don't advance your knowledge or skills, right?
Well, maybe some people just want to like work at the job as a job to, get money,
That's
but
fair
then
enough.
focus on their life.
That's
in
fair
different
enough.
ways.
But like people who stay, I don't know what they're doing. No, I don't think there's any real prestige anymore. Like you have Skunk Works back in the day who built the S1 or SR-71 to do cool stuff. They probably do cool stuff now, but there's no allure anymore, right? The Cold War's over, right?
A new one's starting up in China.
Yeah, but so what? China's. Most people in the U.S. don't. At least our generation, I think, don't see it as an existential threat. Like Russia moved nukes to Cuba, all that. Right? They were seen as some people who would actually end the world. Right? China, people see it as the place where they make all their shit on TikTok. Right? Honestly, I don't think anyone of our generation, most people do not have strong feelings about China. Right? People are I think if you ask the average person in our generation, they're like, what has China done bad against us, right? The spy balloon? Okay, that was I mean, that's it violated our airspace, but it's kind of small fry compared to moving nukes into Cuba,
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Seriously, you ask the average Zoomer, Gen Z person, what do you think about China? And they'll be
They probably don't know.
they'll probably have a very mild opinion about it. They may know about the Uyghurs, right? But even unless you know about them, they won't have any strong opinion.
Do you think that American hegemony will last
No.
until the end of no?
No, I think our government's too inefficient.
What do you think of a one world government?
It'd be terrible. Awful.
Awful.
When do you think American hegemony will end? Or do you think it already has ended?
It's slow decline. I think we'll still have a very high standard of living. This may become a multipolar world.
Who will be the other poles?
Probably China or India.
That one.
Unless Africa gets their act. Or South America. South America could form a super bloc, Like Call of Duty Ghosts,
You don't think Europe can form a federation?
EU's still very strong. I think they'll exist for a while. I think the EU will get stronger over time. Definitely. Especially after the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Definitely. They'll still be a huge power.
What do you think are the inefficiencies in the American government that are
Low pay in the government. Just short amounts of paperwork. Slow processes.
Do other governments not have this issue?
They do.
So what makes America so uniquely inefficient that it'll cause us?
I don't think for our generation working in government's there's no prestige in it. Back in the day, I guess there was. It's you get paid less, right? You have to deal with a bunch of BS every day. It's seen as a place where people who can't compete in other areas go to. That's how I interpret it. I mean, there's some places that do cool work for the government, but I don't know. I mean, if you're a lawyer, it's a great place to be. Right, to advance your career in the DOJ. But the issue is it's a revolving door, right? You work for the government, you get experience dealing with all the internal mechanisms, and then you go to private sector for more money. And then sometimes people actually do that, and then they go back to government. The Secretary of Defense was in the military, was a general. Went left, went to work for Raytheon. Then guess what? Gets appointed to Secretary of Defense. Yeah, so it's kind of perverse incentives, I believe. I think we need like make the working government more prestigious and seem more honest. Actually, it's seen kind of as altruistic now, but like you need to, I think, pay them more and just make it more sexy. Like there's something called the U.S. Digital Service. It's like where you can like basically become a programmer for the government and do like, and you get put on all sorts of different projects. But it seems pretty cool. Pretty lean, mean, pretty nice.
But
Lean, mean, sex
how do you
machine.
pay government workers more without making?
There's a lot of inefficiency in the system, man. You know, like there's like the Pentagon thing, the budget. It's like they don't know where like a lot of the money went. They're like, where the fuck did it go? You know, and like most of it goes to big primes, who then just like lease out the work to subprimes, and then even some of those subprime contractors lease it out to other contractors. It's just rabbit holes all the way down. Okay? So there's a lot of craft in the system, and I think if you remove it, you can pay people more. The money will go much farther.
Have you considered running for office?
No.
Why not?
I think you should only run for office if you actually believe you can affect change in the system. I don't have the skills to do that.
Do you think you'll ever have skills to do that?
Maybe. I don't know.
Do think
You
one day
need
might?
you need clout and you need lots of money.
You don't think you could run a grassroots campaign?
No, that doesn't exist anymore in the U.S. I think, except maybe like AOC, I guess. But if you're in Texas, you need money.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to be in Texas.
I
Go
think
somewhere
most places in the U.S. you need money to run, or at least to stay in office. At least like bigger states, you have to deal with the party machine and all those mechanisms.
The lean, mean party machine.
They're not lean at all. It's like a secret cabal kind of who they pick to like run and stuff. It's always been like that. A lot of political pork, you know.
So where would you want to go after Peru?
Probably
Transition.
Vietnam.
Vietnam?
It's cool.
Do you think you want to do solo trips later? Or
later in life, maybe. But I don't have the independence or the confidence yet. Right? It's
But
hard.
why do you think you need to be confident?
Because it's hard for me to go up to a random person. Because they just see me as some like gullible white dude. Probably. Unless I speak the language, you know.
Wait, but if you're traveling with somebody else, what if they're like also a gullible white dude? So like,
Well, we're fucked. Vietnam has cool history, like I said. Cheap,
yeah.
great food, amazing nature.
Uh-huh.
Right.
That's cool.
I get to see down B-52s from Operation Linebacker 2. I get to see like some foxholes that they use, you know.
Are you really interested in the Vietnam War and stuff like that?
I'm somewhat interested, just like how much of a boondoggle it was.
Boondoggle.
Yeah.
That's a new word.
I guess it's kind of embarrassing, to be honest, because it essentially started with the French. After World War II, the French wanted to retain Vietnam as a colony. Ho Chi Minh leading the independence movement. At the beginning, he wasn't anti-American. He actually, you know, he I think he said at some point like he admired stuff, the principles of like documents like the Declaration of Independence and stuff. But then I think it started with JFK. Was JFK the one who first sent troops to Vietnam? Just troops?
Something like that. Didn't he like firebomb?
Something like
Was
that.
he the one that firebombed Cambodia?
Something. No, I don't think it was him necessarily. But yeah, I think the French asked the U.S. to intervene, ostensibly for anti-communist purposes, and then we got to this whole shit show that was the Vietnam War with the drafts and all this shit. Because think about it, it's like if things played out differently, Vietnam could have been a U.S. ally much earlier, right? Ho Chi Minh, I think at the beginning was not like an ardent communist. He was more of an independence movement guy. That was his primary goal. And so the U.S. took over from the French and essentially fighting his cause. They set up a dictatorship in the South, ran by some Catholic dude, right? Who also did committed atrocities, right? The American people were lied to about like how the war was going on until the Pentagon Papers were like released. You know, Kissinger doing fucked up shit, Cambodia. Well, Kissinger and like Nixon or whatever. Just fucked up shit. Or Agent Orange, all that. It's just terrible. And for what? Like, for what end? Right, to fight containment? Like what? Vietnam's now fully communist, and guess what? The U.S. is still number one, top dog. Right? Like, all the Vietnam War did was kill thousands of American troops, kill thousands of Vietnamese people.
Well, it caused a lot of...
Fail in doing so-called containment. And the end result is America is still in top dog. We're still number one. Like what?
Well, you know,
you sent young men who had their whole life to look forward to fight across the world in like a hellhole, right? For what goal? For like a bunch of old white men who think they know what they're doing when they don't. It's embarrassing. It's disgusting.
Well, you know, one silver lining is a lot of Vietnamese people had to flee the country. And
that's not silver lining.
Okay. Well, I was saying
delicious restaurants.
They come to America, make some delicious restaurants.
The thing is, Vietnam
with some very delicious Vietnamese food, which, you know, Vietnamese food is great, but Peruvian food that we've had over this trip,
the crazy,
been great.
The crazy thing is, Vietnam is not like anti-U.S. like today. Like you could go there, they're fine, right? They're even thinking of like teaming up with the U.S. against China because you know they had bad beef with China too in the past because China invaded Vietnam at one point. Like everyone was invading fucking Vietnam, and it's just strong.
Good on the Vietnamese people.
Yeah.
So what restaurants have you liked the most, Andrei?
Here,
what kind of foods have you like?
I like lomo saltado.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Can you describe what lomo saltado is?
It's like beef with like soy sauce, tomatoes, and I think some other onions.
Some fries.
Right. Well, you usually serve with rice, but fries is like a bonus. Baked noodles is very good. Guinea pig, I only tasted. I did not eat an entire guinea pig.
Unlike me.
I had a tiny bit, and it's like chicken, I guess. It's gross, so.
It's delicious.
What do you
Especially
think your favorite dish so far, Lon?
My favorite dish? Ceviche.
Ceviche is good, yeah.
I love ceviche. I love ceviche before. I still love it now. It's even better in Peru. I love it.
Ceviche is good. I kind of want some more ceviche.
They spell it differently here. They spell it with a B.
Ceviche.
Sometimes.
Ceviche.
Yeah, well, in Spanish, it's still pronounced the same.
Ceviche, like
Ceviche.
bitch.
All right, so back to the Vietnam War.
I think this is something you're very passionate about.
I mean, it's like a fascinating tale of how we did not learn a lesson because we repeated the same thing in the Middle East, in Iraq, and Afghanistan. We tried to build a nation and we failed.
For sure.
We tried to build up South Vietnam, but it turned into a disaster.
I agree.
What do you think is the ideal place of the United States in the world order?
Good question. I think we should focus more on our own country first.
We should make America great again, like America first.
I think we should still help countries if they ask for our help, and ostensibly that's the current situation now, right? We're not trying to invade people anymore, quite, and for nebulous goals. We're probably focusing more on strengthening existing relationships, right? Which is good, but we have a lot of issues at home still. We're regressing in terms of democratic principles at home. Like you have Texas and Florida passing all these insane bills to restrict LGBT rights, abortion rights. Like it's crazy. It's literally regression. Balkanization, where you have like liberal states I mean, it's always been like the case of like you have more liberal states, more conservative states, but we're I think we're becoming more polarized, unfortunately.
Do you see an end to that?
Yeah, there have been periods of this like this in the United States, but then like a big event caused us to all unite together. World War II, the Civil War. But
the Civil War did the opposite.
The Civil War kind of united everyone at the end after the war was won. Blacks could finally hold office, and they did. I shouldn't say that. I should say African Americans, but they could hold office in the South, right? And a lot of them did in state senates, but then we regressed again because of like Johnson, his ilk. But and I kind of see that happening in the U.S. now, unfortunately. Yeah, and for like the most stupid reasons. Like people who don't like drag shows because they think they're indoctrinating the kids, right? Which is like they're not doing anything. They're not like killing people in schools,
No, I think issues like that are gonna pass over.
No. I think Americans are too pampered, too spoiled, so now they have to find made up shit to like worry about.
I think the American society is too decadent now.
Too kind of too privileged.
You think anything's gonna happen to change that?
Not unless those in office do something. Those in office finally have a moral compass, and like this. Some of them do, like Colin Allred. Actually, not a moral compass, like the one that I think is right, which is kind of selfish. I don't know.
Alon's cleaning out his shoes of sand today because we went
I don't
sand
know
buggying.
where the sand keeps coming from. I keep emptying my
sandboarding.
shoes, and I walk around and I feel a little lump, and it's like more sand. I don't even know how that's possible.
You should have brought an extra pair of shoes.
The sand's just coming up like tumors in your feet.
Tumors.
Yeah, they pop up. What's your opinion on sand buggying?
Awesome. I want to drive one.
You want to do it again tomorrow?
Can we?
Honestly, it'd be kind of fun, but like...
Yeah, we have to clean out all of our sand again.
Yeah, and we don't have time. Like, we won't have time to like... Actually, we won't even have the facilities to shower or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, before we leave and stuff.
True.
Which would kind of suck. Getting sand everywhere. It's not very fun.
Yeah.
It's crazy. We'll only have like 4 days left after this.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Do you think you'd come back to Peru?
Definitely.
Me?
Yeah.
Maybe, but I don't think for a long while. I think there's just other places that I want to go to first, and I don't think me as a person, I'm a big travel guy.
I agree.
TBH.
I'm not that big of a traveler. Like 3 weeks is like my max. It's so funny because in Peru we meet all these white people. And there's always a white person who's like either a German, Australian, American. They're like,
Canadian.
yeah, I quit my job and I just travel for months. And yeah, that's cool. You get to see new places, meet new cultures. But part of me just thinks they're trying to like live in their own bubble, world, kind of escape reality in a way, right? Like I'm thinking, do they not have like family or like loved ones?
Well, it's probably because they're younger right now. Or actually, I don't know. The German guy's pretty old.
The German guy, he said he didn't have kids.
Yeah. His excuse was it's expensive. Whatever. But yeah, it's crazy. They like travel for months, and like they seem very free spirited. I give you that, and I'm jealous of that. But part of me is like don't they have like anything back home? No.
Well, I don't know. I think some people just have different
Priorities.
or not just
Goals?
Priorities, but like things that give them enjoyment.
Yeah,
and traveling
if this
right?
gives them enjoyment, more power to them, definitely. Like travel's not for everyone. Yeah.
What do you think is the biggest thing that gives you enjoyment? It's like spending quality time with friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Doing
like
hobbies.
People.
Okay.
Like all these are amazing places and like eye-opening, but at the end of the day, like human connection is more important than just like a physical place. Right?
What do you think, Alon? Are you a big travel person, do you think?
I do love traveling.
Uh-huh.
It's,
I think we can tell, yeah.
it's I would call it passion.
A passion.
Dare I say?
Yeah, but you don't go out the beaten path too much.
That's true.
Unfortunately, we should just like fucking winged it. Like that guy on the YouTube who went to Peru's most dangerous.
Well, that's
Lima's most dangerous
yeah,
day,
that's,
but
that's unfortunately my mom would die of a heart attack if she
So
found
how
out
long
that-
are you going to be under the whims of your mom then? Do you think the rest of your life? Or?
No, I don't want her to worry. So it's like,
That's
and also
respectable.
I don't want to. I mean, there's a good reason why she is worried. I don't think I'd go to the most dangerous neighborhood in Lima.
Well, how about like the fifth most dangerous one instead? You know, something that's like not quite as dangerous, but it's like still off the beaten path.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm in Peru. It was level 3 on the State Department until a few weeks ago.
yeah.
So, I think I'm.
You know,
I haven't fully become an extreme traveler yet, but I'm working my way.
I think Romania's level 1 in the State Department is like dangerous skills.
Yeah.
Or something.
Is that
That's
good
in
or
the
bad?
EU, right?
Level 1's like the
It's
least.
the
That's the
best.
most safe.
Oh,
Sorry,
okay.
yeah, safe. Yeah.
Aren't that like most countries in the world? Like
No.
Canada's level one?
Define. I don't think most.
Most like nice countries are. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Like
Well,
almost-
is Romania not a nice country?
It
do you
is.
think?
It is. It's like it's developing. It's developed actually. I think it says on Wikipedia.
Does it really?
Or it has like very high income relative. I don't know. It's a nice place. Like everyone's there nice. Most people speak English. Yeah, it's great. Cheap again.
Mm,
Good. I don't know good history, but it has history,
yeah.
culture,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting history. Yeah. It's got the Carpathian Basin. right?
skiing. There's some skiing there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff you want.
Mhm.
They were held by the Austrian
They
crown.
they like the West a lot. Like once even during communism, I think my parents talked about listening to Western music when they're in high school.
Yeah.
U.S. music.
Mm.
And I mean, piracy was kind of big. It's still kind of big in Romania, but they pirate, U.S.
Yeah.
movies.
Did your parents live under the
Yeah.
communist?
Yeah, they did.
Oh.
They don't talk about it too much.
You know, that's something I learned. My parents, like, they grew up in Taiwan,
Yeah.
and I didn't know, but like Taiwan didn't even have democracy
Yeah,
until
it
like
was
the
it was
80s
a
or
dictatorship.
90s.
Yeah.
So like my parents, like I think they moved before democracy came to Taiwan, so they literally lived under a dictatorship like the whole time,
Uh-huh.
which is kind of crazy to think about. You know, I never really thought about
What's
that.
crazy to think about is my dad learned English by watching movies with subtitles.
Mm.
Apparently, that's a
Through culture.
Apparently, that's a good way to learn languages.
Yeah,
from my
did you do that when learning French?
Watching French with subtitles.
Yeah. What was that video series
with
you
Romanian
did?
subtitles?
I think it was U.S. movies, like they were talking, in English and stuff, but with Romanian subtitles. I think
Oh.
something
I
like
don't
that.
know.
Something like that. It worked for him because he speaks like really good English. Like he has an accent, but like I couldn't do that. Like I don't know how effective Duolingo is compared to that. I think Duolingo.
No,
might
it's
be more-
far less effective. No, but the thing is, I haven't actually learned French, so I can't tell you.
Maybe it's because have you been doing that? Like, what was that video series that you watched?
Yeah, French in action. I
French
haven't
in
actually
action.
come close to. I think I've watched like 18 episodes or something. That's
Yeah.
it. There's like 50 total.
Do you think you're gonna restart that?
Maybe one day. I won't restart it. In the beginning, it's really slow.
Well, I'm not saying restart from the beginning,
Oh,
but
like
just
resume.
like resume.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, exactly.
I think my mom learned Russian in high school,
Oh, really?
even though Romania kind of hated Russia or the Soviet Union. There was like a rift.
Mm.
Ceausescu wanted to be like more independent as a country compared to the USSR, and apparently the West loved him so much for it. They invited him to Buckingham Palace and they like knighted him. I think Nicolae Ceausescu actually got knighted, yes, by the Queen.
Well,
of
you
England.
can't knight. I thought the Queen can't knight people that are not British.
Let's see.
So they just made him British and then knighted
Gave him
him.
honorary citizenship.
Honorary citizenship.
I'm pretty sure he was knighted. Like there was a whole spectacle when they invited him to the UK. And then Ceausescu went to North Korea, and he appears like, wow, they love their leader so much. Let's try to do the same here. And they like do all big parades for him, Ceausescu, and his wife.
Mm. So, Lon, where would you want to go after? So you guys are going to Argentina after this, actually.
And then
Yeah.
I'm going to Brazil.
Yeah.
We're trying to go to the best steakhouse in the world, apparently.
Yeah, Don Julio's.
Don Julio's.
Don Julio's.
And then we're going to Ushuaia.
What do you think are your chances of getting in to
High.
Don Julio's?
Pretty
Might
high,
really
yeah.
high.
I think everybody gets like.
Really?
If you show up in line early enough, you can get in.
So
It
what's
closes
early
at-
enough?
Early.
It closes at 1 a.m. too.
Yeah. yeah.
Oh.
I
Okay.
think even like half an hour.
How
before.
are their like prices?
Cheap, actually.
Yeah, cheap and everything's half off because
Wow.
the Argentine economy is crumbling. So
What happened?
who
What
knows?
happened? They were like an amazing country to live in not too long ago.
Is that true?
Wasn't it one of like it was like the top 10 in terms of like GDP or human development? Like,
Oh, that was like
30s.
100 years ago.
yeah, but still.
Yeah, it's the only Wikipedia page I've ever seen that said that this country used to be a developed country.
So what happened?
That's a roast.
Yeah.
What happened? They have they have like nuclear reactors there. You know, they have technical knowledge, right? They have like great agricultural land, right?
South Africa also has nuclear reactors, don't they?
Yeah. They had a nuclear weapons program at one
Yeah,
point.
yeah. They had nuclear weapons.
Yeah, they did.
They're the only country. It's also only Wikipedia page that says that they voluntarily gave up nuclear weapons.
South Africa.
South Africa,
Yeah.
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 Good for them.
Well, I mean, they have their own issues. They've always had issues.
Yeah. Would you want to visit South Africa?
Cape Town, yes.
Yeah.
Cape Town is gorgeous.
Johannesburg?
I don't know about Johannesburg.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's kind of sketch, right?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
a lot of South Africa is very sketchy.
Except Cape Town's like touristy. No,
Uh-huh.
it's on the coast. It's on
Yeah.
literally the Horn of Africa.
Yeah,
no?
that's pretty cool. It's
Some-
the southernmost tip of the old world.
Yeah, it's great.
Mm. What's the old world? Like Africa?
Afro-Eurasia.
Afro-Eurasia?
Yeah.
So just not the Americas
And Australia.
and Australia.
You know, South Africa has 3 capitals.
Yeah. Johannesburg, Cape Town, and I don't know.
Pretoria.
Pretoria, yeah.
Pretoria. Yeah.
Isn't Bloemfontein one of them?
No,
No?
Pretoria.
Okay.
And I think Johannesburg. You may be right, actually. I don't know. I don't know if Cape Town is one of them. But
Yeah.
it's
No, is Cape Town one? I don't remember. I thought I could have sworn Bloemfontein was.
I
Maybe
think
it
you may be
is,
right.
yeah. I just named the famous cities.
Uh-huh.
Famouser cities.
Would you? I would want to visit Vietnam next or Brazil, and go like along the Amazon.
See Jesus Christ in Brazil.
Christ the Redeemer.
I know I would want to go to every restaurant that the Phil Rosenthal, I believe his name, went to.
Who's Phil Rosenthal?
He created, I think, the show Everybody Loves Raymond and got like uber rich. And then he eventually made a show on Netflix called Everybody Loves Phil. And he just goes to different countries and eats food.
That sounds like a good life.
He does some like fun stuff in these episodes. He's a very charismatic guy even for the screen. And he went to Brazil and he went to like some barbecue joints. He went to some famous cafe in Rio de Janeiro.
Oh, I should go there.
Yeah, I sent you it. Yeah. He went to Chile. That's one of the main reasons I wanted to go to Chile, because he did an episode in Santiago. He went to a lot of
You
countries.
didn't go to Argentina?
No, he didn't. He went to some U.S. cities, several, like Portland. He went to Portland.
Damn.
And he did an episode
Maine?
there. I think he did an episode in Maine,
Oh.
Rhode Island. I don't know. But yeah, he did I want to like go to every restaurant I wanted to go to because it's like it looks so good, the food.
I see.
Even though I'm supposed to be vegetarian, but in Peru I've kind of like I made an exception just to try the local food, and it was worth it. 'Cause,
Yeah,
like,
Peruvian food
Peruvian food is really good.
How'd you
delicious, yeah.
start being a vegetarian?
I think I went to New York City and had some vegetarian food. I thought this is not disgusting.
So just from that, you
Wow.
just decided to be a
And
vegetarian.
also,
you
like-
gave up meat because of that.
Also, more reasons. It's like, would I eat my dog? You know, if I can eat a cow, would I eat my dog? You know, like what's the difference really? They're both animals.
Like you have an emotional connection to your dog, but you don't have the emotional connection to the random cow.
Yeah, but cows.
I'd
could
eat
be
dog.
pets, you know?
Okay.
Wow, that's a hot take. That's a hot take.
That's the Chinese in me.
That's so racist. Oh my God.
That's okay. I
You
can
get the
say
pass,
that.
you get the
I get
pass,
the
you get the
pass. I
pass.
can say that.
But like, I think like once you try me, it's like you know what it tastes like. You know? I was very consistent in Seattle, surprisingly.
Oh, that's a lib city, so it's pretty easy. I think.
Yeah.
Do you think how hard is it to be vegetarian in Dallas, Texas?
It's kind of hard. It's hard with my boyfriend because I have to make exceptions sometimes. Because I want to take them somewhere nice, but they're very picky and they only eat meat. They don't only eat meat, but like they love beef and stuff, right?
Have you ever tried vegan sushi?
In New York City, yes. Yes, I did.
I went to a place.
It
in
was
LA.
not bad, but it wasn't like it blew me away.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
I
that
went
much.
there because I had a startup. I was interviewed at a startup, and then I bombed the interview. So, but it was a really cool startup. I'm jealous. I at that point I realized, man, I'm an idiot. I need to work on myself more. I stopped applying to jobs because I'm like, wait, I want to actually like focus my skills. I don't want to like be in this rat race forever. Right? If you just keep applying to jobs, you're not gonna like learn anything really. You're just applying to jobs. It's like very rote.
You may have to put money on the
Very boring.
Money on the table. What? Oh, put bread. What is it?
Bread.
Bread on the table.
Bread on the I use food on the
yeah,
table.
but like I look, it's risky because Amazon's like been laying off people and delaying return offers, but I'm betting they're gonna recover in a few months, and I'm okay. And the salary is very good. Like it's not guy level. It's not like hedge fund. Not even hedge fund. Like very niche financial firm level money of like
it's
prop
not like
shops,
Mr. Alon here.
prop shop, Optiver,
Yeah.
Hudson River Trading, Jump Trading level money, but it's like very good. So why not?
How excited are you to start your job, Alon? When do you start? August?
August, 28th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You figured out your housing yet?
Oh no.
I
You'll
think
be
you got
fine.
time.
You'll be
Yeah,
fine.
yeah,
Like 300K or so goes very far in Chicago. 180K or so goes far in Seattle. Not far, but it's like very comfortable.
It's pretty far. You can live very comfortably, I think.
Yeah, you can't own a house. But
Well, you're not gonna buy a house when you're 22.
the good thing is Seattle's like, it's not as bad as San Francisco. Like they're actually building housing. Maybe not at as fast a rate as would be ideal, but they're doing a good job at it, kind of. As a gorgeous city of Oz, yeah.
City of Oz.
It's Emerald City because it's so green.
I've never watched The Wizard of Oz.
But
I don't understand that
It
reference.
is very lush, and like you drive like 30 minutes outside the city, and you're like in a national park or something, you know.
Yeah, that's something that I'm going to be missing in Chicago. I really like natural beauty.
Yeah, but you're making like absurd amounts of money, so.
I mean,
Yeah, so you can take plane
The
tickets
only
to
reason
come
why
to
these
Seattle
firms are
and
in
then
Chicago is because of the options exchanges there.
yeah.
And even then, it's like kind of like obsolete because like they can beam orders to New York City using like radio towers.
Yeah, they do that. But,
I know Citadel does that.
I think we rent a radio tower.
Yeah,
I say we, the Optiver does.
yeah,
This guy's already part of the clique.
The family.
yeah. Dark fiber
Optiver.
too. You know what dark fiber is?
No.
So companies, at least in the New York City area, these internet companies laid down a bunch of fiber optic cables beneath the streets and stuff and the ground. And I think they actually laid down more than was necessary. Like they have extra capacity. So some like financial firms, I think, had the bright idea to like buy some like exclusive rights to some of these lines, so they can like route trades like faster or something.
I think fiber optics is like slower though, right, than radio waves.
No, I mean they're both.
No, because it like it bounces around. The light like bounces around the cable.
I have to.
That's what I heard.
But yeah, but from Chicago to New York City, no, the fiber optic is only for like
Yeah,
firms in New York City.
No,
I think.
because we have a fiber optic cable also. They only use it when it's cloudy.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You know, they have a lot of like these firms go to great lengths and do cool stuff.
Do you think you would ever work at one of these
I'm
places?
not smart enough. I'm not
That's
smart.
not true at all.
Bro, these
That is
Jane,
not
have you
at
seen
all
the people
true.
at Jane Street? What they built the interns? It's crazy
That's
shit.
not true. Jane Street actually
I
was like
knew
the
it
second
people.
highest hire out of Carnegie.
Yeah, that's Carnegie, like Carnegie Mellon.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like
No.
I don't know. The people I know at Jane Street, they're pretty cracked. They're pretty smart.
That's what I'm saying.
Just like the people I know at Aquifer, they're pretty cracked. They're pretty smart.
I think you're pretty cracked and pretty smart.
I don't think I could work. Maybe at a lower tier prop shop.
What's a lower tier prop shop?
Probably Jump. No.
Oh damn! Shots fired.
Shit.
Damn.
Jump crypto is like an
Shots
embarrassment.
fired.
Jump crypto is like an embarrassment, bro. Like, kind of.
I wouldn't know much. I don't know anything actually about.
Jump crypto
kind
is
of
like
stuff.
this like part of Jump trading that like invested in shit coins and shit.
Well, what is maybe that it's shitty. They're traders, but you know the software engineers and stuff there. Maybe they're
Maybe
still,
I don't know.
still
I don't know.
alright.
I haven't met them, so
Uh,
maybe I can't say much. Nah, I have an idea for like a password, just like a simple business idea. Password manager,
really?
based on like some papers I read.
Okay.
There's,
How would it be different than other password managers?
There's one from A&M. It's called. It's like a Sphinx. It's called the password manager. And it's like kind of like it's like the password is oblivious to the password manager provider, in a way. I need to show you the paper.
That's very interesting.
And they
Yeah.
and like passwords aren't going away anytime soon.
You know, I wish I was
yeah.
as motivated and passionate about like things as you were about like,
Sphinx?
stuff
Yeah,
like
me
this.
too, dude.
Sphinx
Me
is
too.
a device-based password manager that transforms a human memorable password to random password with the aid of a device,
That's
without
fucking crazy.
without the need to store the passwords on the device, and
I'm
without the
mind-blown.
device knowing anything about the password, even when computing on it.
Sheesh.
Wow.
And then there's
crazy.
another scheme called Opaque, and it's like what's the name for it? It's like it's similar in idea. It's like the password, like whatever site or service you're authenticating with doesn't know the full password or even the hash of it.
Do you think you have like a good vision or like plan in life? Like you know where your life trajectory wants to go and stuff?
I want to do that idea at some point in my life.
So pursue like start your own business, start your own product.
Yeah, definitely.
Out of
My idea is like I want to actually build something
yeah,
to prove to myself that I'm knowledgeable and
that's cool.
and also to make some at least enough money to live comfortably and pursue whatever I want.
So on this trip, you guys were talking about one of your friends, and you said that he made like a tier list of least gay to most gay out of like all your high school friends. So if you had to do the same thing, not but it was like least passionate or like figured out what they want to do in life to most figured out in life, like where do you think you'd rank yourself in Alon?
The middle.
In the middle? Do you think where do you think you'd rank Alon based on what you know about him?
Nick's number one, definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Because he's writing a book. All he wants to do is write his book.
Yeah.
And he only has a job.
Is he the one that he has like a lot of volumes of like this fantasy or whatever?
Yes, but he has like a day job, but like it's basically like passive income. He like his manager is so chill, and he does like 1 hour work a week,
Yeah,
literally.
actually.
What is he working? Like, is he software
I think
as
it's
well?
like a bank. Yeah, it's a software
It's
engineer.
financial,
Some kind of financial company.
in like C# and .NET.
But he
stuff.
doesn't write nothing all day.
And
He just writes his book.
Yeah.
which
That's
is
cool.
which is very respectable.
How much has he written?
A lot.
Applause.
I have not read the book, but he shared a Google Doc, and it was
Yeah.
like
So it's only one book, or he's written multiple?
no.
Okay.
He has an outline for like a whole series.
he's kind of a perfectionist now.
Yeah, actually, I don't think his book is ever coming out. Like
You think it's one of those things I'll never see
George
the light of
R.R.
day.
Martin. one of
he's
those.
written several full drafts.
He is like George R.R. Martin to an extreme, yes. But
To an extreme, even more than him.
like
Yeah.
he's not like Stephen King, who can like churn out a book like every few months or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess he doesn't have cocaine, but but it's very respectable. He has a vision. Abanov, I think, has a vision.
Yeah.
Kind of. I mean, he was into crypto, and then when that fizzled out, he was like did something else. But he's like he wants to be like an executor, you know. He wants to like do stuff,
Like kill
Yeah.
people? Oh, okay.
He's an
Well-
executioner.
like he executes, right? He
Yeah.
like wants to like have an effect on the world, run a business. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So you think you're like in the middle?
Like I think it's very like a Poisson distribution. Is that the right word?
Oh, why side?
Where it's like really high at the beginning and then like no.
Is that what a Poisson
No.
distribution looks like?
No. Like exponentially decaying
Yeah.
in terms of like motivation.
So
and
most
drive.
people are just like lost.
Like Ryan, even Ryan Conti. I don't know what he wants to do necessarily. He talked about like becoming. He wanted to do something with Native American outreach.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
But now he's working at Google.
No, is he? He's going to. Well, right now he's going to like some kind of NLP research group.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, but
in Montreal.
Yeah, I thought he wanted to work at Google or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, right now he's doing some research for Native American languages.
Okay, so I guess I rank him highly then. I thought he was just wanting to get into big tech like all of us.
Probably does.
He got converted.
Are most of you all just doing software stuff? Like,
Pretty
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
It'll always be like
There's a couple Meckies among us. One of them is working at SpaceX, or he's gonna go to SpaceX.
that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
See,
pretty cool.
they grinded for it. Me, I just sat in a chair and like over Zoom or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
did some interviews.
I literally like did almost no work at all. I literally just I fished out a shirt from my closet and I sat down. I almost missed the interview too.
And then you have like Meckies who have to like jump through a bajillion hoops.
Yeah.
But there are software engineers out there who work their ass off though. Especially once you're like running businesses.
Yeah.
A lot of them just like are fucking monsters, beasts. But you know, I want to do something a little more extra than just working at a big tech company.
Yeah, for sure.
I wanted to work at that startup, but then I realized I'm too dumb. I'm just too dumb. I did the interview. You should see me. I was like manic, not manic, but like I was all over the place. In the interview.
We had one bad interview performance.
No, dude, I wanted to join these people. Red Balloon, security, man. I did the take-home assignment. I did the interview explaining the take-home assignment. They flew me out. Their office is so cool because there's like gizmos littered everywhere. And then I bombed the interview.
It happens to the best of us.
The best of no.
Yeah,
Bro.
yeah. Alon, how about you? What's your how would you rank yourself? Would you be at the bottom, at the mid?
Probably at the bottom.
At the bottom.
No.
I got no idea what's going on, dude.
Too humble.
See, Andre has a
Too
higher
humble,
opinion of you
too
than you
humble,
have
bro.
of yourself.
Wait, what? This is of like a life plan.
Ability.
Oh, I guess it's
technical
life,
ability.
life plan. I think.
Life plan.
Life plan.
Both of you agree.
I don't even want to run a startup. I just want like a business that makes income. Like my dad, he runs a business. Right?
Yeah. What does he do?
Massage.
Massage?
Yeah, he massages people. It's like a very small. It's like him and some other person.
Small family
Burgeoning.
business. Did he ever want you to like follow his footsteps?
He wanted
or
me
something?
to become a doctor,
Oh, okay.
like his brother. He's like, Andrei, you're so much like my brother. You should become a doctor.
Yeah.
And he kind of got mad. Well, I don't know about mad, but he really wanted my sister to become a doctor. But she was going to take the MCAT. She was studying for it. She bought like the textbooks and stuff, and then she's like, I'm going to become a PA instead.
Is that like a assistant something physical?
Assistant. And my dad like recently argues like it's harder to get into PA school than medical school because there's more competition, just like or something. I don't know. Like more
Really?
people per spot. I don't know. I don't know if he was right. But
Maybe.
he really wanted her to become a doctor. And at one point, she wanted to be an OBGYN. So.
OBGYN.
Yeah, but like I think she's like, med school is really hard and you kind of waste your 20s.
Oh,
in med
yeah.
school.
Yeah, my sister knows all about that. Yeah.
Like, you cannot trust me with a scalpel. Like, I'm too clumsy.
Yeah.
I think you'd learn, right? And also, you
I
should
don't know.
become a surgeon.
Yeah, you could be like a family doctor.
Yeah.
Or like
No, that's boring.
Yeah, you gotta cut people up.
I
be
mean,
like a foot doctor. You can be like one of those.
I don't have a foot. Well, I kind of do have a foot. Well, no, I mean, I like feet, kind of. in the like a romantic sense.
I mean, feet
Flaws.
are nice. Like, they allow you to walk around.
I think
They're better than
I
meters.
think if you have a foot fetish, you should not become a foot doctor. That's like.
Well, that's probably a conflict of interest.
Yeah.
Wise words from Mr. Alon out here.
I'm not Quentin Tarantino. There's like a scene in a movie he either wrote or directed where some actress pours tequila down her leg and then he licks the tequila off her toes.
What?
I'm not kidding.
What the hell?
It's so funny.
If you had to go into like, it's like
Any other
first
film?
day of college or something, right? And you're like introducing yourself to a lot of new people. Like, you get the icebreaker, like, tell a fun fact about yourself. What would you say is your fun fact usually that you give?
I guess I'm Romanian. That's
You're
about it.
Romanian.
That's about as fun. That's about as fun as a fact that I can share. I guess I got interviewed by the Secretary of Energy over.
Ooh.
Zoom.
That is a good fun
See,
fact.
that's a cool fun fact.
That is so embarrassing.
What's the story of that?
It's so embarrassing.
Secretary
I was
of
with
Energy.
my group of friends on vacation in New York City,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and we shared an Airbnb. It was so cramped, and then I get an email from not the Secretary of Energy, but it was like the headline was like it was from one of their aides, and the headline was like the Secretary of Energy wants to interview you, and I thought it was like a joke or spam or something, and I read it, I was like, oh no, it's serious, because apparently my local representative or the representative for the area where UTD is in, Representative Allred, had the Secretary of Energy, what's her name? I should know this.
I forgot.
Like the one under Joe Biden right
The
now?
one, the current one, yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
She was his law professor at Berkeley. He was in her class, so they knew each other. And Representative Allred is like really into like promoting STEM education and stuff like that. So he figured like, okay, she's the Secretary of Energy. Department of Energy runs national labs that do cool science research. Some UTD kids became DOE interns for the Sully program, which is a program run by the DOE to like put kids into like national labs. And so he figured he would interview like me and some other dude who did way cooler work at the Princeton Plasma Physics Laboratory or something, doing actual physics. My work at the Brookhaven was like just like database research.
Databases are cool.
Like no, it's like just measuring it's like fail slow fault tolerance was like the whole the research the professor I was under he was participating in with some other people, and just measuring like determining how to make databases resilient to certain faults like that aren't like catastrophic faults like a server going down, but like faults like where like the disk becomes really slow or something like that. Like, and so my research was like, how does Redis perform? Like the Redis database system works under like certain fail slow faults. And I presented my research, and I guess I liked it.
See, that's a cool fun fact.
Yeah.
So
But-
you talked with,
It was over Zoom. It was during the pandemic, unfortunately, so it wasn't in person.
but that's still cool.
But I did not talk about my research at all. I talked about like quantum computers and bullshit like that. But I did give like advice. I talked about my mom, how she was an inspiration to get to STEM, and like what people need are like more. We need more mentors to like encourage people to go to STEM. I think we have a lack of mentors now because like early on in elementary school, you have some maybe like some cool like scientists come in and talk about the research, but then like it kind of drops off in middle school and high school.
Yeah.
Right.
You think your parents were like big role models for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom made me do like extra math homework, kind of like online math stuff. I forgot what the website was, but yeah, she made me do like extra math.
Cool math games.
basically. No, it was actual math. So like I did well.
We share the same
because I did. She like helped me like do some science fair projects. You know, do spelling bee. Yeah.
That's good.
And the interview was like, ostensibly about how to encourage people to get into STEM. Yeah, and she was not. Secretary Granholm is her name.
Yeah.
She's actually Canadian. Yeah.
Is she really?
Yeah, she's Canadian. She was governor of Michigan. Yeah, she did a lot of stuff.
And she's so high up in the government.
Yeah.
How do we know she's not funneling state secrets to Canada?
Yeah.
Canada, our arch nemesis.
Giving it to Mr.
I mean, she toured.
Mr. Arabian Nights.
She toured like national labs and stuff. She wants to like expand them. Like national labs do really cool work. They're underappreciated, really. But there's actually a mock interview before the actual interview, where I think some of her press aides, like her public relation aides, like did a mock interview of the real one, like asking similar questions. And that one, I said you gotta get rid of student loan debt,
Yeah.
or something, yeah. And then my friends were like, or this guy was like, Andrei, that's like dumb. What they want to hear is something they can reasonably do while they're in office.
Oh, you almost did that.
Yeah.
Well, it's ironic.
not.
It's ironic because Biden is thinking that, but I didn't know Biden would get elected. You know, oh no, he was president.
already president.
Sorry, but I didn't know he was going to do he was actually going to go with it, and he's still having issues. But like, I then realize, okay, I have to give a realistic answer, and I gave one. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
I don't know.
And I do
Pretty
believe-
based answer.
I do believe we need more mentors. You know,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Oh, there's cops here,
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
but it was a cool experience. They're very nice. They seem nice people. Like they took time out of their day. I mean, it was ostensibly for PR purposes, but it's for a good cause. Right? And I got something. I got something to put on my resume.
Uh-huh.
My work at BNO was very boring, and I felt like I didn't do good work.
Your research?
You're also very young, right?
Research, yeah, sure. I remember there was like BNO. It was completely virtual too, which is a shame because like BNO has like a lot of cool toys.
Uh-huh.
They have a particle accelerator there.
Mm.
They have a lot of cool science equipment. Even if I didn't get to actually use any of them, I could have like probably went to BNO, like looked around, right?
What is
Imagine-
BNO?
Brookhaven
BNO.
National Lab.
Brookhaven National Lab.
Yeah. Now I'm doing boring CS work, not cool science experiments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It's-
CS isn't boring. Or maybe the stuff you're doing
it's
is
kind of
boring.
cringe, right? At this point,
What do you think is not cringe? You've called a lot of things cringe.
like being a scientist, like
A real
biologist,
scientist, okay.
physicist,
Yeah.
being a doctor is not cringe.
Yeah.
Those are not cringe. Yeah.
Not cringe.
Some computer scientists are not cringe.
Mm.
Most aren't, but like a lot of computer programs are,
Mm.
because they only know like web dev stuff, you know,
Mm.
and they like pull insane salaries for like being agile scrum masters or whatever.
That was Scrum Masters.
like the most it's they're like a lot of like big tech companies are like too bloated now,
Uh-huh.
and I think it's good they're cutting the fat.
Mm.
That's not the most like honest way,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
using the pretext of current economic conditions, even though they're like still raking in record profits, record earnings, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wish
Yeah.
they didn't do that. Could have gotten a return offer. It would have been nice.
No, but like there's the BNL hosts like this like quiz bowl kind of thing. I did really good.
Yeah.
I think my team won because of me.
Oh wow! Wow.
I'm pretty
Damn.
sure, I'm pretty
That's
sure.
a fun fact.
I'm pretty sure my team won if I remember correctly.
What were the
That's
topics?
cool for
There's something about Schrodinger, stuff like that. Like
Scrotum.
it was about scientists, and it wasn't like you expect like these people are like big brain and they would ask really hard questions, but like the questions were easier than actual quiz bowl.
Oh yeah.
Because like an actual quiz bowl, like the science questions are like absurd.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
Like you have to memorize like a Wikipedia page for like each element.
Did you do that in high school? You were part of the quiz bowl?
I went to one tournament and I got one question.
Correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's good.
And that's it.
yeah, that was my experience. It's too big brain
Well,
for
that's
me.
fun.
I did do some competition in high school. I got on my there's a competition hosted in Houston by HP, like a
Mm.
programming contest, and I managed to make it on my high school team for that, and we went to Houston.
Wow. Houston, that's pretty
And
exotic.
My team placed okay in the team. Yeah, you know.
How would you rank Texas cities? Like, what do you think of Houston?
I don't remember anything from Houston.
Oh, how about
'Cause
San Antonio?
we didn't like actually visit Houston. We visited.
Have you never visited?
We went
Houston?
to a hibachi place, and then we just went to like the HP like building in Houston.
You ever visited Houston? Like,
No.
actually?
Sucks.
I think I went there once to either pick up my uncle from the airport. I don't remember. I don't
Pick
actually
up your.
visit the thing.
Wait, you had to drive from Dallas to Houston
I
to
think
pick
they
up
like.
your uncle?
I think they flew from Houston. I think we were
Oh,
either
I
driving them
see,
off or
okay.
picking them up. I don't
see.
remember anything. I didn't ever actually visit a city. It looks like fine.
Yeah.
It's a city.
Really big highways.
It's a city in the U.S. It has like all the amenities every other major city has.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Like,
true.
like it's not unique. You know, it's not weird
No,
like
what's
Austin.
your favorite city in the U.S. that you've been to?
Seattle?
Really? That's
Really?
good. Then you're gonna be there.
Maybe
We're gonna be there.
Fredericksburg. Fredericksburg is kind of touristy,
Fredericksburg?
but it's kind of touristy though.
Hmm.
Seattle's like gorgeous. It has its issues like any other city, but is beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like Seattle too. Just like the feel of it, even though I
definitely.
haven't been there for long.
It feels smaller than DFW, but that's not because DFW is such a it's like a monster. It's like its tentacles are like reaching out everywhere.
I thought it looks like a flower.
DFW?
Yeah, the Metroplex.
Like Seattle is constrained geographically. It has cool history, like Gasworks Park.
Mm.
Someone I read it taught me something about Gasworks Park. It wasn't like natural gas. It wasn't a natural gas refinery. It was like coal gas or something.
Mm.
Because they used to like use coal to like generate gas or something.
There's this book that
I
I
don't
read.
know.
It's
It's
like
cool.
a romance novel, and it's set in Seattle. And
Yeah.
then like they go to a bunch of like Seattle landmark
Sleepless in
places.
Seattle.
No. It's
No.
like a book.
Have you
Oh.
seen Sleepless in
I
Seattle?
have seen it.
I
Yeah,
haven't
no,
seen it.
yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
Is it a good movie?
It's required.
It's a pretty
watching.
good movie.
Required viewing for.
I mean, it's a little
Seattle,
sappy,
like-
but it's like
Well, no. What required viewing for any Seattleite is Frasier,
Frasier.
because I think
I'll put that on the
Frasier
list.
takes place in Seattle. I never watched Frasier.
What is Frasier?
It's like some TV show.
Mm.
Is it a crime TV show?
I think it's like just like funny. Right? It's just
Oh.
supposed to be funny.
That's
It's about some dude I think named Frasier who lives in Seattle.
Oh, okay. Like
cool.
Seinfeld, who was in New York.
Seinfeld is actually funny because it's like all the characters are terrible human beings,
Uh-huh.
and like the show acknowledges that. It's so funny, and they're the pettiest like issues. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna talk about Seinfeld because it's been talked to death, but it's so funny.
That's really funny. No, I've never seen Seinfeld.
I've seen a couple episodes.
You
Bow,
gotta-
bow, 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 bow.
Yeah.
Bum, ba-dum,
Bow,
bum,
bow,
bum,
bow,
bum,
bow,
bum.
bow, bow,
You gotta
bow,
watch
bow,
the show,
bow,
man.
bow,
You gotta
bow,
watch it.
bow. Ma-da-ma-ma. Bow, 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 bow,
On
bow.
like the list, on like the curve of people in my friend group who have the least direction in life, I think Guy would be kind of like doesn't have that much direction to be honest.
I like how you went back to this just to shit on guys.
I mean, I think
Yes. You should
I-
clip this and send this.
I'm
to-
sorry. You know what? It's an interesting question. I'll answer it. To be honest, I don't have that much motivation. Like he's incredibly smart,
Mm-hmm.
right? Probably like 150 IQ at least. Very motivated, but like he doesn't seem like he makes very good money.
Mhm.
He has a nice job, but like, well, beyond that, I don't know what he wants to do.
Total waste of potential.
It's not total waste. It's not total waste. His main goal was, I need to stay in the U.S. right?
Yeah.
And he
Is he like
accomplished
a
that.
foreigner or
Yeah,
is
yeah.
he not a citizen?
He's not a citizen,
Yeah.
but he accomplished that goal, and then it's like we're from there, you know.
It seems like he doesn't want to do anything. He just wants to like.
Coast?
Yeah, exactly.
But he's coasting very well.
Yeah. No, I mean he's. I mean.
He has like a 2-bedroom apartment in Manhattan,
Yeah. That's
and
true.
he only uses one because he only got a 2-bed apartment.
Yeah, he
Because
keeps one around for his parents to come visit him.
Wow.
like he makes mucho dinero, you know.
Yeah.
Damn.
No,
That's
he
the
lives
life.
very well. I mean, this is just he could do so much more.
Well, he says he doesn't like his coworkers, right? Or something.
What
He,
does that have to do with his
he needs to like
potential?
connect more. I think I can't connect with people very well. I'm not that charismatic. I'm kind of shy. Like that German dude, to be honest, I'm like, I just want to eat. I don't want to talk to him. Like, to be honest, like the conversation was like, it was like the same shit I've heard so often.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I just kind of shake my head. Yeah, the thing is, he just kept on talking. Like I wouldn't say anything. You just keep
Yeah,
on going.
he's like,
and
yeah,
going.
he's like, yeah, this Trump guy. He has some good point. He's crazy, but he looks out for Americans or something. I'm like I get you talking. I guess I get that American politics affects the world globally. It's ripple effects, but like, man, I hear this shit all too much already. I'm on vacation, but talk about cycling from like the tip of South America to like Mexico. That's interesting,
Yeah.
right? How do you prepare for that? He didn't talk about like how you prepare for it really. He just talked
Yeah.
about like
what if
takes
he
months.
suddenly talked about Operation Linebacker too?
he did mention it kind of. He talked about the down. When he was in Vietnam, you could see the wreckage of down to B-52s.
That's the one time he spoke up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I knew I watched a video on it and like reading about it is so interesting. But not enough about Vietnam.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Guy, you and Guy, if you had to start up the
my
code
God.
exam startup, basically Code Signal
Yeah, code signal.
before Code Signal was big. Man.
Wait, you guys had an idea for a thing?
Code signal.
Oh, like a.
This was
like a test.
this was pre-pandemic.
Uh-huh.
Pre-pandemic. I was kind of skeptical, but I realized, man, these guys were on to something.
Yeah. Code signal before code signal happened.
Yeah.
If only you guys did that.
Yeah, if only.
You two have the smarts.
don't
He
think-
sounds super smart.
he's
You're
very
pretty smart.
I don't know. But I'm terrible when it comes to doing things.
Yeah,
I can't execute.
I kind of know that. You know, we had an idea for making a game once, and that shit just.
What game?
Never happened.
What was the premise? What was like?
It was like a 2D. You know, like Line Rider, but
Yeah.
like a shooter too.
Soul
So
Rider.
it's so.
That sounds kind of cool. I had an idea. I wanted to make a game just to learn. I did not want to ever release it, but like just to learn, graphics development, making an engine from scratch. You know the Flash game, Run.
Run, no,
No.
don't know it.
I know Quap.
Not Quap. No, there's a Flash game called, I think it was like Run, and they made a Run 2 or Run 3. But it was a Flash game, and I think it was huge. It has a little alien.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Well.
This game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this
it's
game.
like on Cool Math.
Oh,
games.
that one.
Yeah, I want to make it for a learning experience like that, but like with a more modern engine, not using Flash, and
Yeah.
you can have a level editor.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like people can make their own maps
Yeah.
and like submit it, and you could play it.
No,
right?
that's cool.
I mean, we were ambitious.
And then like you could sync it to music,
Ooh,
like the tiles with like
okay.
Flash, and it's almost like Beat Saber how it's synced.
Like Osu.
Yeah, kind of. But I would like, if I ever want to like sell it, I would want to get permission from the original like creators, and I would probably sell it for like 25 cents. Like give most of the money to the creator if I ever did that.
Yeah.
But I mainly want to do it like as a learning experience, like making engine from scratch, right? Stuff like that. You know, that's my only game idea, and it has no creativity at all in it.
That's okay. That's still like, it's like a personal pursuit. You get to develop and.
Yeah, but I've not started it on.
Well, that's
It's like,
okay.
It's like one of those things floating in my head. My main one would probably be the passive manager. Just like something simple.
I think having the idea is step one.
No,
Right?
yeah, okay, idea. Everyone has ideas, but like the ones who are truly exceptional, like go at it. Right?
Do it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of hard.
That's what Abhinav does. He just does
Yeah.
things. He just goes out and he does things.
It does thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the writer CEO and how much of a idiot they are.
Before we do that, is your master bedroom on the ground floor or on the second floor of your house?
Ground floor.
Okay.
That's not very fair. He literally lives in Texas too.
Or just
Okay.
adding.
All right.
Yeah. So what?
That's something we ask all of our guests.
Wow, that sets you apart. Now, okay, let's have an ad break now. We're gonna have an advertisement for LATAM Airlines. LATAM Airlines.
Holy fuck, dude.
LATAM
Got to know them
Airlines.
very well. Very, very well.
We love
I'm about to know
LATAM.
them even better. A few days.
Yay.
Yeah.
No, I mean you gotta execute, man. I know a guy, Sammy. I think they're they're at least interning at Blizzard or something, somewhere big for Epic Games. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. I wanted to work at
Gra-
like a game company.
Yeah,
once.
they do like such cool work,
Yeah.
but
You
like,
get
unfortunately,
overworked.
a lot of places are kind of sweatshops.
Yeah.
I don't know about Epic Games though.
I
Todd
mean,
Sweeney, I think his name is cool guy.
Todd Sweeney.
Tim
Isn't that
Sweeney.
like
I think
That
it's
was
Tim
like
Sweeney.
Edward Scissorhands.
His last name is Sweeney. I think it's Tim Sweeney. Sorry.
okay.
People still play Fortnite.
Yeah, it's huge,
Yeah.
bro. They do crazy shit now, right? They have like Spider-Man.
I mean, they make Unreal Engine too.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
yeah,
And
that's
like
pretty
Unreal Engine is like apparently like an amazing engine.
Uh-huh.
Making an engine from scratch is like a great learning experience.
Yeah. If only it could execute.
Yeah.
Do it.
Making a basic engine like is a project, but it's doable. It's doable.
Yeah.
And some people make some really cool engines still. Teardown, I think, is the game. And it's like has amazing.
Oh
physics.
yeah, with the voxel.
Yeah,
whatever.
amazing
I know
physics.
that one.
I think that was a custom
What is
engine.
Teardown?
It's like this game where like the whole environment is like destructible and you can do a bunch of random stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's,
I
like,
know the
cool.
game. I know the game.
There's a game
Shit.
Noida has a custom engine.
Yeah.
That too has like really unique mechanics. Everything's destructible too in that game, I think.
Destructible.
It has like cool wand mechanics, really cool shit.
Yeah.
Jonathan Blow is a guy I respect a lot.
You know, he made The Witness.
Yeah, The Witness. Before that, he made Braid. The guy's a genius.
Yeah, I watched the video. It was like about this guy. Do you know this YouTuber called Joseph Anderson?
No.
He makes like a lot of video game critique stuff, and he made like a 50-minute video about The Witness. He was like, a brilliant game that you should never play, because it was like, he says like this game is the ultimate time waster in terms of it's like a puzzle game on steroids, like an iPad game, but like on PC. Honestly,
no,
though,
but it was huge. It was pretty big. It was a pretty big game.
that game just frustrates me. Like I played through.
Yeah,
some
you know
of
what
it,
Jonathan
like,
Blow does? He does live streams now, and he's making his own programming language called Jai, because he hates C++ and he doesn't like C too much. And he's like, man, fuck it. And he doesn't like Rust. He's like, fuck it, I'm making my own language. He's making his own, not only his own language, he's making his own game engine in that language, and he's making a game in that engine with that programming language called Sokoban or something. And he does live streams where he's like showcases it.
What does he not like about C++?
C++
and Rust?
there's like too many features. C, I think he wants just a little more features. He kind of likes C simplicity.
C+.
It's kind of like that. Kind of like that, actually. The programming language is called Giant. It's like in beta for some reason. It's not open source yet. He's like he allowed like a few programmers to like use it, and like I think people like it actually. But like, so he's not only doing like programming language. He's not only implementing a programming language. He's implementing a game engine, which, to be honest, he's like an expert in. Like, this guy's brilliant.
Yeah.
He has some like hot takes, which I love.
Like?
He has hot takes.
For example?
I think he like shits on most programmers. He thinks they're not like good at programming.
Yeah, probably true.
True.
He doesn't like Rust. Yeah. He doesn't. He advocates writing your own game engine. Right.
Okay.
Like for most tasks, because he says like most games, like the mechanics are very specific to that game, and like if you take an off-the-shelf engine, it may not be that good for what you could. Right. He rated New York pizza places.
Okay.
Yeah. Guy's pretty smart. I appreciate it. We need more Jonathan Blows in the world. He can be like he can be harsh, and he can maybe be hard to work with, but like, get shit done. He has opinions, actual opinions, actual like principles. Yeah.
Do you think you're a principled guy? You think you stand up for your principles?
No. I wish I was more principled. You can always.
I
be
think you're pretty principled.
No, man. No, with eating meat, I'm fucking dog shit at like just being consistent with not eating meat.
Yeah.
Other things maybe. I don't know.
It's tough. Being principled is hard. That's why the people that are principled, it's like you can look up to them.
Yeah, like Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh my god.
I think
he
he has
principled?
principles.
What's his principles? Make money?
I don't know. Actually, he wants to connect people ostensibly. I don't know. He's a good family man, though. So there's his principles.
Really? I don't even know
He
anything
has
about
not
his
divorced.
family.
He has not divorced. For a billionaire,
He's like 10 years old, dude. But
No, but like
He's like
you see
10
most
years.
billionaires and they have like 5.
I mean, hasn't Bill
ex-wives.
Gates like not divorced?
He was like even
Oh wait, they just did.
literally-
Oh,
even
yeah, they literally
even
did.
during even at the age like when Bill Gates was like Zuckerberg's age, like he was known as like a womanizer, right? And like kind of
Was he?
like kind of yeah,
Mm.
like hitting on like employees and shit. Right?
When did he get married?
I don't know, decades ago. And he hung out with Epstein, and shit. And
Yeah.
It's really gross. I don't know why the fuck people hung out with Epstein. Even
Mark Zuckerberg have kids?
Yeah, he has kids. He seems like a good family man.
Uh,
He bought like a bunch of houses around his like main house to like get privacy.
Good family man.
what a flex.
I can understand that, bro. If you were Mark Zuckerberg's neighbor, like
Yeah.
you would like gossip about him constantly, even knowing him, you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think he has some principles. I don't know what he's doing with the metaverse. I think he was ahead of the curve. Yeah, and they couldn't execute with the. I think they're gonna work out the kinks with the Quest and stuff, but I think the vision is kind of there.
Yeah.
It's just like maybe one of those things that's like way too early.
Mm.
Like, cause Apple's like has the Vision Pro and looks like amazing apparently.
Mm. You don't get one?
I don't know if I want to be locked into the Apple ecosystem, but I love their hardware, but like it's like you have to like buy in completely. Like, you have to like orient your whole like tech.
I mean,
life.
I think I've been able to use an Apple iPhone, but keep out of everything else Apple pretty well. So I don't even have AirPods. Like I still
only
use.
have AirPods. I constantly notify other people who have iPhones that I have AirPods.
Yeah.
No, they do cool shit. You know, very clean, very nice hardware.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. I may want to work for Apple one day
Mm.
if I'm smart enough.
You definitely are.
I think you're smart.
No, I'm
enough.
not. No, I'm not.
Yeah, you
No,
are.
No, dude. All I know is how to click buttons on the dashboard or something. You know?
Well,
That's-
that's
That's
step.
the extent.
That's step one.
Uh,
Click buttons on a keyboard. If you could, like, you have a holistic view of yourself and you know your strengths and weaknesses. What would be one thing that, if you could just fix it right away, what would be like the first thing you'd want to fix about yourself?
how I interact with people socially.
How you interact with people socially?
Be more charismatic,
Mm.
confident.
Do you think you would want to be like a leader type, like a CEO?
Hopefully,
or
yeah.
something? Yeah.
One day. But I don't want to be a CEO of a large company.
Small.
Once it gets like too large a company, it kind of like loses its vision.
So
it becomes
what would you?
unwieldy.
So if your company grew too large, what would you do? Would you like step down,
sell it, quit.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sell it
definitely.
and quit.
If I had no choice, I would try to keep it lean.
Mm.
Like Instagram or WhatsApp, when they were bought out for like absurd amounts of money, they had like only like in the tens of employees.
Really? Damn.
Yeah, WhatsApp like scaled really well. Like they only had like 50 employees when they were bought out or something.
Sheesh.
They used Erlang for their backend.
I've heard.
I've heard
Very
of
cool.
it.
I tried learning it and I kind of stopped because school kind of caught up. Very cool language, functional but dynamically typed.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. The ideal company size is like maybe a few hundred. That's
Maybe
maybe
a few hundred,
right.
under 1,000.
And also private,
Private.
because then you can do
None of that
whatever you
public
want.
stuff.
But public, you become beholden to shareholders.
But then you get the little ticker, you know? Isn't that cool?
No,
God,
no, because then your only
I'm like a
obligation.
kid.
No, then your only obligation is like making money for this quarter and the next quarter. Like your long-term vision becomes hampered. Like Steam is a private company still.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They have a vision, right? They're not forced to make like a game every year.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be cool to have like to buy into VALV as like a stock though? Like Valve stock?
no,
or
because
something?
then they'll probably make less cool games. Like they take their time.
Yeah.
Half-Life 3 is in
Alex.
production for how many goddamn years?
Yeah.
I don't
Alex
even
was
know.
like they took their time with Alex. It's like the best VR game ever made.
True.
It's like incredible. They made
Yeah.
their own engine, for it and stuff. Incredible stuff. Steam Deck,
Yeah.
great stuff, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if they can make that if they were public, because the shareholders would be like, "Why are you wasting your time with this?"
Yeah.
Release
Yeah.
like Half-Life 3 now,
Yeah.
Mhm.
How about you, Alon? What would you try and fix if you could?
About
just-
myself, definitely getting things done. I mean, I have a problem. Where
Yeah.
I can't do things.
Uh-huh.
Life seems to work out though.
Everything seems to
That's the
just-
problem.
He needs to learn the hard
Something has to
lesson.
go wrong in order for me to change.
Dude, I don't know. I think I have a problem too with getting things done.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, me
Oh,
too.
no.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
That was your attempt at empathizing with Alon, but then you realized, oh wait, I actually do
I think I'm
it.
slightly better than Alon in that regard, but like
Mm.
1% better.
1% better.
1% better, yes.
Okay, 1% is
1%.
that's a significant. If it's like
If you're on a scale of like Google, sure, like
Yeah.
1% efficient, Google skills, like amazing, you get a promotion.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
I don't know in this context.
well, it's something.
I'm too pussy to like quit my job and do like a startup,
No, I think once you have money, I think you can do that.
I do have some money and I could just live with my
Well-
parents.
Mm-hmm.
Once you have more money, once you feel more
More money?
comfortable. Yeah.
Like for like AWS cloud bills. That's my seed money. Just, like,
You want to fire too? Were you on the one that wanted to fire, or was it
what's
Alon?
fire?
the financial
Financial
independence
independence.
retire
Oh.
early?
I kind of want that. Kind of. I mainly just want to do something I like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like beyond retiring early. Like, what are you gonna do? I mean, you could just travel. Yeah, sure. But traveling is not for me. I think. Like for long periods of time, I don't think so. Unless I'm like chilling on a yacht or like a private jet, like in comfort.
Uh-huh.
I'm that type of guy. I think.
Chill kind of guy?
Yeah,
Or to do something you like?
I do want to do something like technically, yeah, and make something people actually use and like people talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Just to prove to myself, and
Yeah.
maybe make some money enough to just live comfortably, not have to worry about working ever again for someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Good goals. Good goals. How often do you think, seems like since you and your high school friend group have kept pretty well in contact throughout these college years, I guess since you all go back
Yeah.
in times, but now that you all are starting jobs, probably moving to different places, how well do you think you guys are gonna stick together and like still hang out or talk and stuff?
Fairly well.
Fairly well.
I think we'll come back to home base once in a while, or do a
Thanksgiving.
retreat, or do retreats.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
I don't know how Guy's gonna come back though. Because his parents moved to Miami.
yeah. We can just go to him in New York City.
Yeah.
Right? We'll have the money to like buy plane tickets.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he could still like just come over and stay at one of your houses. Like that's what one of my friends, like they moved to Dallas, of all places. But he's actually right after this Peru trip, which is why I pushed the Peru trip forward a bit. He and one of my other friends, he's gonna like come over back to Oregon, so we'll hang out.
I know a friend whose main goal is to try to get into an HFT.
Damn.
Just like studying for it.
I
And I
mean,
did a bunch of interviews.
is he
to
like
get-
in your group?
He went to UT Dallas too.
Oh,
very,
UT.
very smart guy. I hope they do it, and I think they want to do fire kind of.
I mean, he can just ask like some of the people.
I did give him a rec
Yeah.
to guy, I think,
Yeah.
or something, yeah. But I don't know how Two Sigma recs work, but I think they go into a black hole.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Same with Amazon recs, black hole. Because I gave Marcus one. I guess it's because I'm an intern.
Uh-huh.
Like every intern probably has this recommends their friends.
Yeah.
No, but it's like the locality, right?
I don't know about that. I think if you're like a high level manager, you don't go through the official system. You just hire them,
Yeah.
right? Or you just like refer them to the HR like directly. Like, hey, this guy looks nice, and smart.
It's cold.
So many people all around.
Let's walk back. Let's walk back.
Let's
Hey,
walk
wearing-
back.
Put it back.
Go this way.
I think if South America got their act together, they could become a superpower. Like the EU.
Doesn't the U.S. have like a bigger GDP than all of South America and Africa combined?
Yeah, but if they got their, if they got their like if they became politically stable, I think they have a chance.
I mean, look at Peru. Isn't Peru beautiful?
It is beautiful, but it has a severe political instability.
Yeah, that's the main problem with most of the developing world. Political instability.
The political instability. Yeah.
Maybe they should have some more dictatorships, like, so then there'll be stability.
I don't think that's how it
What,
works.
dude? I mean, isn't like that was what happened with Rwanda, right? That dude was kind of like a dictator, or like Singapore too, like Lee.
Sure,
Lee
but
Kuo.
most dictators are evil, disgusting human beings
True.
who throw people in prisons and torture people, just so them and their buddies can stay in power.
True.
Well, a lot of them. Some of them are just like so ideologically driven that like nothing else matters. Like human life doesn't matter. They don't believe their goals or what they believe is best for the nation.
Well, I think we're gonna wrap up this crazy podcast episode.
Crazy.
Are there any
This
last?
will never see the light of day.
You don't know that. Well, if this does see the light of day, and you had to give any shout outs to any listeners, like maybe your high school friends, other people you want to share this to, what would you want to say?
Shout out to George. Shout out to George Clooney. Like him as an actor.
Okay.
My only shout out. Adios. No, there's someone there.
How do we get in?
Hello.
Hello. Staying here?
Yeah.
Sure? Yes, pretty sure.
Muy bien, gracias. What an ending to the podcast episode. What you want to say?
Yes, yeah.